The NFC went down to Tampa Bay yesterday, so a victory tonight for Detroit, and they would be one game off the pace of Minnesota. They go against the New York Giants, who, as you can see, will be receiving to our left. The Giants, 2-6-1 on the season, injury-riddled. They have had to make drastic changes in their lineup. I'm Frank Gifford. Howard Cosell is with us tonight, along with Don Meredith. And you're looking at Leon Bright, fine return man who had great years up in Canada before he joined the Giants 3 years ago. Set to kick off is Ed Murray, and in the warm-up drill, Ed Murray, the fine place kicker, who is 10 of 13 on the year, appeared to have pulled a muscle slightly, but he's out there. He will kick off. The Detroit Lions, winners of 3 of their last 4 games, and that coincided with the return of their great running back, Billy Sims, who will see a lot of action tonight. Set to go from the Silverdome. Murray hooks one to the left and is taken there by John Tuggle, the rookie from the University of California. And Tuggle still on his feet, and Tuggle all the way out to the 30-yard line. And the Giants have had their problems. Scott Bruner, who was set down 2 weeks ago, Jeff Rutledge came on, is back in the lineup. Jeff Rutledge hurt last week against Dallas. Bill Sims unavailable for this year. He has a broken thumb. So Scott Bruner, who won the job in training camp this year because he did not turn it over, had lost that job 2 weeks ago because he had turned it over a host of times. There's the rest of the offensive unit. A bit of a surprise out on the flank is Floyd Eddings, a speedster out of the University of California for the Giants, number 88. First down and 10. Eddings in motion. Play action by Bruner. The screen to the flanker, and it goes out to Ernest Gray. And Gray avoids a swarming Detroit defense for a pickup of about 6 yards. It'll be second down and 4. Defensively, the Lions are also hurt. Their fine pass rusher, William Gay, unavailable tonight with an injury. Good, solid linebacking core. Perhaps the best of it, at least in the pass department, is Jimmy Williams. A secondary that's also hurt. Over in the right corner, Bruce McNorton has replaced an injured Al Latimer. Much at stake tonight for the Detroit Lions. For the Giants, 2-6-1, respect. Second down and 4. Eddings again in motion. Rob Carpenter, of course, the single setback. He'll work to the right. And Carpenter falls forward over the 40. He'll have a first down for the Giants. Carpenter, the bread and butter man, ever since he came from Houston in the Giants playoff season of 1981.
Carpenter, a solid player, not a great player. Started off big this year, fell to a 2+ yards per average per game in the recent games, but yet effective in the Giants' scheme of things.
The first down just over the 40-yard line. The Giants have been moving the ball offensively, but they get in enemy territory and they can't score. And this is Butch Woolfolk. He's a favorite, of course. The former All-American from the University of Michigan, taken there by Bobby Watkins defensively, and a pickup of 5.
Steadily improving player, Dandy. He's under Parcells, learning to become a complete player. In the Bo Schembechler scheme of things, you'll remember he did everything right for Bo, but didn't get the opportunity to do the greater number of things he's doing now, particularly pass receiving.
He's been really very effective there. Long gainer.
Got 4 last week against the Cowboys for 135 yards, Butch Woolfolk. Second down and 5. Carpenter taken from behind. Mike Dawson in pursuit there defensively. A gain of a couple. It'll be third down and a long 3. And, of course, the quarterback that we'll be watching tonight, at least initially, is Eric Hipple, who we had a chance, Don and I think Howard was covering a World Series 4 years ago, and this man came on. We didn't know who he was. We looked him up in the book, found out that he came from Utah State. He promptly threw 4 touchdown passes that night, ran for 2 more, and he is now the starting quarterback for Detroit. Third down and 3. The ball close to the 48-yard line of the Giants. Carpenter single setback for the Giants. Bruner will put it in the air. Looks for Woolfolk. He's covered. And down goes Bruner. The 12th time he has been sacked this year. He had good protection. He just could not uncover a receiver. That'll bring up 4th down, and the punting unit will come out.
Trying to get Woolfolk, it looked like, but you're going to see pretty good coverage on the outside. And what he really did, I think he fumbled again. Woolfolk was open, but it was a little bit late. Well, there's another defensive player there, so maybe he wasn't as open as he looked.
Dave Jennings, one of the fine punters for many years in there for the Giants, and Ken Jenkins, the rookie from Bucknell, is back for Detroit. Jennings, who's been fighting a back problem, hangs it up and is taken by Jenkins at the 15. He struggles up close to the 19-yard line, taken there by Larry Flowers. So the Giants have to punt on their first possession of the game. And we'll be back at the Silverdome with more action. Harry Hippo, the quarterback for Detroit, 4 years out of Utah State. This season, we'll take a look at the numbers, a little over 53%. He adds another dimension that Gary Danielson, a fine passing quarterback for Detroit, does not, and that is ability to move around back there. And he's a gutsy guy. He's a leader. Hippo brings the Lions up. Their first possession. First quarter, no score. The ball just inside the Lions' 20-yard line. The big rookie out of Florida. And a great one, at least potentially, is James Jones. He has changed the dimension because he is such a fine blocker. Now that Billy Sims is back from a broken hand. And there is Billy Sims, the incomparable one. James Jones, the first-round draft pick out of Florida. Dorney, one of the fine blocking tackles in pro football on the right side. They like to run behind him. And they like to put Jones through the line of scrimmage and put him into a linebacker. Jones got a couple. It'll be second down and 8. Billy Sims. Squirts to the outside, gets the block. Gets back inside and is up close to a first down. He does it so well. He's wearing a little fiberglass cast on his right hand that kept him out for 3 weeks earlier.
Some folks just do it different than others, you know. And here's a good example of seeing a guy that just really had to pick his way. Still cut right in here. He says, now, straight upfield, let me get what I can get out of this. He's really, they've missed him a lot. Lawrence Taylor, a guy you're going to be hearing a lot of tonight. He was pretty well blocked. That's Ulysses Norris in there.
Almost had his number ripped off.
Yes, he did.
First down and 10. Sims gets the first down. Motion man is Norris, the tight end. Sims again. And again, Lawrence Taylor taken out of the play nicely as Sims explodes for close to 7. Let's take a look at this defensive unit. It is back where they like to have it, except for that front line, and they are all makeshift. Hardison's moved over to the left side because of the loss of Curtis McGriff. They're down to the third nose tackle, Jerome Sally. But the big man back in there, of course, is Harry Carson, an all-pro inside right linebacker. With secondary, and Terry Jackson out there playing on a very sore knee. And a penalty being discussed. It'll be a procedure call against Detroit. It'll back them up.
Hipple is very upset with the call. Obviously, it must be something.
Illegal formation, number 72 offense. He played on the end of the line of scrimmage, did not report that he was eligible. Still first down.
It was a funny kind of a formation they had. They had both tackles over on the same side, and Dietrich was on the end line. Therefore, he was an eligible receiver, and you've got to tell that official that you are, and he did not. And they're doing it again right now. Both tackles on the right side. Sims, and he runs into Lawrence Taylor after he picks up about 3. It'll be second down and 12.
That's an interesting confrontation, fellas, between Lawrence Taylor and Billy Sims. Billy came over to our hotel today where the Giants were staying, especially to see Lawrence and Harry Carson, too, for that matter, both old friends. And he spent the whole afternoon kidding Lawrence. We're going to block you out. There'll be no intercept as there was last year when Taylor turned the game with a 97-yard interception return for a touchdown. And he said, I'm going to be running around you all night.
Second down and 12. Hippo, and down goes Hippo. He's sacked by Brad Van Pelt, the 11-year veteran who is a popular player still here in the state of Michigan, of course, out of Michigan State.
Fred lives only 50 minutes drive from here, as you look at that. Two-time All-American at Michigan State. And he's got the whole Van Pelt clan down here, and there are a lot of them for this game.
You know, he doesn't look that much different right now than he did when he played at Michigan. A lot of those pictures look like two different folks. Brad's held up pretty well.
He was a rover back, a safety. The Giants tried him there. Didn't work. They tried him at tight end. He's been all-pro as a strong side defensive outside linebacker. Third down and a bundle, and out of the shotgun. Flags are everywhere.
Motion over there on the Detroit.
Hippo. And Hippo out to the 35-yard line. There was motion, as I'm sure you saw. Harry Carson was there defensively for the Giants against Hippo.
You're talking about Billy Sims telling Lawrence Taylor he's going to run at him. You know, you see that. Lawrence is so fast, Howard, and, you know, we've commented every time we've seen New York what a terrific athlete he is and all that sort of good jazz, but he's not the biggest linebacker. So one good way that a lot of offenses try to neutralize that, they go right at him. Don't let him pursue. You'd have to fight off big blocks. So maybe that's what
Illegal motion, number 61, number 81. Offense, decline. Fourth down.
Detroit with a pair of men in motion.
That's what Sims was telling. See, we're just going to come at you, fella. That's all right. So look at it. You ready? And he's ready.
That, of course, on a third down. Hipple did not get the first down. The penalty declined. Mike Black, the rookie pick from Arizona State, who replaced Tom Sladany at the beginning of the season, is in there to punt. And here's a man who refuses to fair catch it 102 times, and he almost lost body and health here a year ago when Leonard Thompson really unloaded on him. And Thompson is in there, and he'll come down on the punt. Leon Bright just will not fair catch the ball.
Boy, that guy could have blocked that.
Black
Flowers
gets a bad kick. And it takes a giant bounce back to the 31-yard line, and it did look as if Flowers had an opportunity to block that. Maybe pulled up because he did not want a running into the kicker. We'll be right back. A little more than 9 minutes remaining in the first quarter from the Silverdome, Pontiac, Michigan. The Giants put the football against the Detroit Lions. No score. First down and 10. The ball just over the 30-yard line. Rob Carpenter tries left side, and he's buried over there. Good surging defense. Doug English, who's having a great year, along with Jimmy Williams.
Remember that game, Giff? Zip, zip. Augie Leal missed 3 field goals for the Lions, and Ward Cove missed 1 for the Giants.
I remember it well. I remember Mother woke me up and said, "You won't believe what happened today." I said, "What?"
What did you say?
I said, "What, Mom?" She said, "Nobody scored up there in Detroit."
There was a loss of a couple. Good play by Williams and English over the right side. Second down and 12. No flags. Now there's a flag down late as Bullock, the tight end, collects the football up around the 35-yard line. That flag came late. I don't think it was because of Detroit movement. Our referee tonight is Dick Jorgensen.
Yes, it was.
It was. They caught him, and they caught him late. Bill Parcells, of course, in his first year with the Giants. What a way to start out. This man has had multiple problems.
He sure has, Frank. Sad thing, the loss of his great friend and critical
Offside,
assistant coach.
number 66, defense, still second down.
Ledbetter, who suffered that terrible coronary, and then Thursday night passed his father suffering or having a triple bypass, but recovering nicely, it seems.
Doing well. We wish him well. He's in St. Luke's Hospital in New York. Second down and 7. The ball is close to the 35-yard line. With Woolfolk, right side. Good move, foot. Woolfolk got a block for Brad Benson, and he pops it over midfield, close to the 44-yard line. Alvin Hall defensively, but Brad Benson came from way on the left side, just ran right over the top of one defender, and Woolfolk read the block, got the extra yardage.
A little counter play, and you are going to see Brad Benson, number 60, right out in front. Butch is getting smarter. He says, "I'm going to stay right behind Brad and let that guy tackle Brad." And that's what he did. Trying to get that misdirection play, counter play, whatever they call it. Start one way and come back to the other.
Try to get the defense flowing and then come back against the grain. It's first down and 10. The ball at the 44-yard line of Detroit. Rob Carpenter in the middle. Runs into big Mike Dawson after a gain of 1.5 yards, perhaps. It'll be second down and 8. Again, I'll mention as we look at Mike Dawson and William Gay, who was leading the NFC in sacks through the first 9 games of the season. Unavailable tonight. Sprained ankle, but on the right side over there, number 78. If you like to watch line play, take a look at him. Doug English is having a great year.
He is exceptional. Truly great player.
Second down and 8. Turner. There's to Gray, and Gray right at the first down marker, and maybe just inside the first down marker, and it could bring up a third down and short. They may even have to measure it.
Giants at 2-6-1 have been less than impressive, to put it mildly, as we ISO on Gray. And yet, to Parcells' credit, as the media begins to question him and crack down on him, this team has been competitive in most of its games. The real breakdown came against Kansas City when they were leading 17-10 and were crushed in the final quarter, 38-21. 38-17, correct?
can see that Gray has momentum carrying him out just before he could pick up that first down. That's really important. The Giants, however, have been tremendously successful in their third and short yardage, even up to third and 5 and 6. The numbers there are pretty good for them. Beyond that, they've had a difficult time on third down.
Brenner is throwing what I call a containing type passes. He's not really doing anything that's taken a lot of chances so far. We saw him open the game with a quick little flip out to the flat. But that pass right there, if they're covered, quarterback knows he's got room to throw that one out of bounds. Maybe that's part of the new philosophy that Parcells was talking about. He said, we got to get good, basic fundamentals. Let's play to make short gains. Let's see what this one's going to do.
Third down and inches. Brunner does it the easy way, following Rich Humphrey. He'll have the first down near the 33-yard line. Brunner, as I mentioned, won the starting job at quarterback in preseason, and they were so close, Jeff Rutledge, Phil Simms, and Brunner, that really Bill Parcells selected Brunner because he is not the turnover type of quarterback. And he has proven that in 1981 when they led the Giants to the playoffs. Again, he was not a turnover man a year ago. But he really had his problems. He has fumbled the ball 7 times, lost it 4 times inside the opposition's 20-yard line. He has been intercepted 11 times.
Well, you touched on his real problems as we look at the measurement, Frank. They occurred inside the 20. He couldn't get the ball in. And Parcells had no choice but to bench him when he did.
Giants bring in a young rookie out of Texas at El Paso that they're very high on at right guard, number 73, Kevin Belcher, a 6th-round draft pick. As you saw, the first down indicated, and that's the time remaining in the first quarter, and we have no score. Brunner directing traffic as he moves Wolfo over to the left side. On first down, Brunner trying to get it deep to Gray in the end zone. And no.
Intercepted, but out of bounds.
McNorton came down with it, but out of bounds.
Ernest Gray said, hey, that man was pushing me all over the field. And he could have been. We'll see right at the end of it. This McNorton. He's making a move into the inside. He bumped him a little bit in there. But
no. He had position on the receiver.
Thought he did too. He was playing the football.
And he went for it.
Exactly.
But he just brought it down out of bounds. He's scary though because he makes a lot of mistakes out there and depends so much on great speed to recover. He's in there replacing an injured Al Latimer. Second down and 10. Wolfo. Little delayed draw. Wolfo reads it properly, breaks it back inside, and he turns nothing into something, getting a couple. It'll be third down and 8. Certainly English defensively again.
Forgive me, Frank. He certainly is an improving runner. In the beginning, he would run sideways. He would run laterally rather than north and south. Now, you see a different Wolfolk out there.
That's done. He's a hard worker, Don. That's what he does so much of, and he's very coachable.
But it also helps, I think, when you get a guy like Carpenter comes in, he takes a little pressure off of him and let him run a little bit freer, a little bit easier. Third down 8.
Both backs sitting in there looking for blitzing linebackers. If they don't come, they'll move out. Brunner, and he fires a fine shot to Ernest Gray, and Gray has the ball inside the 15-yard line, and this time Brunner had the protection. Gray ran a good route, took it down, made a little move to the inside, broke it out, and Brunner is right on target.
And he's got Danny Wagner, who's going to be the defensive back. You'll see how much room he has.
Good move.
Gray's got some pretty good speed in there. He just turned him around all the way, slid out to the outside, and there he goes. He almost dropped that ball after he got on the ground.
Well, he made a good move on Wagner. You notice not only the move to the inside, he even looked back at the quarterback, and that meant that Brunner had to have a lot of production. It's a first down at the 13-yard line. Carpenter texts along. He does that so well inside the 10-yard line.
That's the point that Parcells made at the production meeting this morning. That's what Carpenter does best.
He says he's got that good quick speed, not great speed, but the quickness in there. And what he call him, like he says, he takes the defense off to one side that has the ability to slash upfield. And he likened him, I guess, to Franco Harris and a couple others, but he doesn't really have the speed of those guys.
He got about 4. Second down and 6. The ball inside the 10-yard line of Detroit. Woolfolk had a good block from Carpenter, and he'll get inside the 5-yard line, short of the first down, where it'll bring up third down and perhaps 1.
He did get a good block from Rob, but more than that, this Giants unsung offensive line, and probably deservedly so because of the record, is really getting off on the mark tonight, right off the ball.
There's Butch Woolfolk. They have actually moved the ball well. It's when they get inside the 20, things slow down. They're averaging just under 340 yards in offensive outing. That's right up there in the league standings. But they have a hard time getting it in once they get down here. Third down and 1. The 3 tight ends are in. Carpenter, but you heard the whistles.
Too much time, Frank?
I think the 30-second clock is run down.
I think so, too.
And they will be assessed 5, and they have done this all season long.
That's exactly the point. They get down there, and then the key mistake.
So they'll be backed up 5 yards. That was yardage for a first down.
Delay of game, offense, 30-second clock expired before the snap. Still third down.
It also was not a very complicated play they ran. They talk about running Carpenter off tackle. That's I don't know what that is. That's just not enough confidence somehow. They're playing very tentatively.
It's one of those stats that we're working on.
Yeah.
Time of possession on the drive. Third down and 6 in the Pittsburgher in the passing situation. And it was a shot intended for Mike Miller, the speedster, or rather, it was Mike Miller, speedster that was picked up from Green Bay a few weeks ago, and he almost held on to it. But it'll bring up fourth down, Ali Haji Sheikh.
Mike Miller, as you look at Ali Haji Sheikh, Mike Miller has world-class speed, no question about it. A good pickup on the surface. How are his hands? We asked Parcells today. He said average, which he just proved.
So we have Ali Haji Sheikh on, 16 of 18 for this year. He's only missed from 45 and 66. And this will be a 27-yard attempt. Sheikh now in the season, 17 of 19, and the Giants break on front, 3-0, with a 27-yard field goal. 3:32 remaining in the first quarter. There they are.
There we are.
And we are joined by what was estimated to be a crowd of 60,000 plus, and it looks like they have finally filed into the Silver Dome here in Pontiac.
About 65,000, I'd say.
Sheikh to kick off, and Jenkins and Martin are deep. And this is Robbie Martin. Big opening. That's Ali Haji Sheikh. One of the last defenders, Mark Haynes, had moved over in position. But Robbie Martin with a fine return of 49 yards has Detroit in good field position.
He really busted through.
He's upset because he says, man, I've got the kicker to work on back here, and I fall down. Nice little hole there they had, didn't they? They knocked him out. He says, okay, now then, let's set this up. Whoops.
Yeah. Stay with me.
Thing to remember is the Giants only got 3 when they should have gotten 7. It's the story of the Giants all season long.
Detroit at the 44-yard line. Hippo gets it in to the tight end, Ulysses Norris.
By the way, that was the longest kickoff return against the Giants this year.
Should have been a lot longer.
Yep. It's hard to criticize on balance their special teams play this year.
The Sheik puts that ball really high. He hardly ever gets it too far into the end zone, but it's got great hang time on that thing, so they've been able to get down there and cover him. They broke it open that time.
Norris got 5. It's second down and 5. The ball inside the 40-yard line. Billy Sims, right side. Spins and cuts back. Hardison was over there defensively for the Giants, along with Brad Van Pelt. Held short of the first down. A gain of, he was stopped really cold at the line of scrimmage.
You know, as Bill Courier came up awfully fast with his safety, that turned that thing back in. Those safeties, he really shot up there, turned it back in, and he had some good pursuit on the inside.
So now Hippo finds himself in a third down and 5, and this is where the Giants like to bring Taylor. They have Andy Hedden in the lineup now, number 54. Very fine blitzing linebacker. He'll be at the top of your screen, and they like to send him. And the Lions the Giants. The Giants in a blitz. Billy Sims around the right end inside the 5-yard line.
That was a call.
That was a good call, wasn't it?
That was a call. Giants looking for it to come inside, and
they were thinking pass all the way. Shot both outside linebackers. They were from the shotgun, and watch Dan Greco. He's waving Billy on. Billy didn't even wait for him.
Look at Lawrence
look at
Taylor.
Lawrence with that pursuit.
Oh, that's terrific. I thought that was Lawrence. Couldn't see it, but he'll have a lot of fun telling Sims about that. I caught you from behind.
Not if the Lions score a touchdown. He won't.
He came all the way in from a blitzing position, turned around and pursued him and took him down at the 2-yard line. And Hippo wants timeout. The Lions have called timeout. They have a first down, goal to go. They're at the Giants' 2-yard line, and we have 1:11 remaining in the first quarter. Closing second, Lawrence Taylor ran down Billy Sims. To Billy Sims' credit, he was trying to break it back inside, and Billy Sims had to come off the field, and I think that was what caused the timeout, a wasted one on the part of Detroit. And now Billy Sims, during the timeout, is treated on the sidelines. He's back in the lineup. Billy Sims needs one more touchdown to tie the Detroit all-time career touchdown mark. And I'd like to give it to him down here, too. Like this. He saw that line, didn't he? You see the end zone. A great back like Billy Sims will get there some way.
That's the difference right there. Lions got it in. If they execute the conversion, they get 7. Billy Sims is as fast as any man in the league for 40 yards. After that, he slows perceptibly. But basically, it's a 40-yard game, and that's enough.
That's a great move there because Harry Carson, strong as he is, had Sims not gone down low, Carson could have got him out of bounds.
Terry Kennard came in over there, too. Kennard, we're going to hear a lot of tonight, I think. Playing very well for New York in that secondary.
He is now.
Murray, flag is down.
All right, Billy, we know.
Back home in Hood section.
Remember the Monday Night Football superstars? What upper body strength.
Oh.
He'd lift up that weight so easily until finally just couldn't keep up with Lawrence and Gastineau.
Unsportsmanlike conduct, leverage, number 10, defense.
Van Pelt.
The extra point is good. 15-yard penalty on the kickoff.
And that should help Ed Murray, the kicker, because as we told you, he has a pulled muscle from the workout before the game.
Tonight, one of the league's young superstars steals a pass in the game as Spartus, America's sports vitamin, presents NFL Classic. Lawrence Taylor, the Giants' sensational second-year linebacker, already has games he totally dominates. Last Thanksgiving against Detroit, he capped the day's performance with a brilliant interception and 97-yard touchdown run to seal an inspired victory for the young New Yorkers. He's got the Giants and their fans thinking championships again.
Billy Sims gets his 38th career touchdown. He's not been around that long. He's going to have incredible marks now in only his 4th year, just rewriting the Lions record book. There is Leon Bright. He's deep. 15-yard assessment, unsportsmanlike conduct. So Ed Murray will kick from midfield. Murray hooks it, and Tuggle has to take it. I guess it was his judgment. That ball was going out of bounds, but he thought Detroit was too close to him, so he took it.
It was downright bad judgment. Look at the field position they're in, and Bill can't believe the way these men are making mistakes.
Had he let it go, it, in all probability, would have gone out of bounds, and Murray would have been kicking back at the 45 once again. As it is, the Giants will have a 1st and 10 at their own 12-yard line. For the Lions, they are 4 and 5. Minnesota got knocked off yesterday by Tampa Bay. They are 6 and 4. Green Bay's 5 and 5. Detroit, with a win tonight, would be 5 and 5, joining Green Bay 1 game behind Minnesota in the NFC Central. That's what's on the line for them. On 1st and 10, Bruner is back. This is Carpenter. Carpenter ends right into Gary Cobb.
Dunn did a good job playing off a block out there. Carpenter appeared not to give him too many moves. That's just kind of brushed shoulders, and we danced on out. A good move by Cobb.
And Monty Clark with his Ben Franklin's on. That's a new little cosmetic trick. Great offensive lineman for Cleveland. Played in a couple championship games with Monty Clark.
Forged the offensive line of the unbeaten Dolphins, pinwheeled by the likes of Jack Langer and Larry Little and Norm Evans.
Carpenter just got 1 yard out of that screen. Wolfoff breaks smartly back inside. Play yardage up close to a first down. He'll be perhaps a half a yard to a yard short.
The big man. A few moments ago, you saw his intercept last Thanksgiving Day against this very team and brilliant touchdown run. Extraordinary play on Billy Sims when he caught him from beyond. Great player. But linebackers usually don't score points.
He's also back where he belongs with the return of Harry Carson. And he had to struggle, did Lawrence Taylor, while Carson was out for 5 weeks with a knee problem. He's back on the outside where he belongs. You saw that Butch Wolfolk with good heady running got the first down for the Giants out of their 22-yard line. But Taylor is exceptional on the outside with that great speed and pursuit. That's the end of the first quarter, and the Lions are on top 7-3. We begin the second quarter with Silverdome, Pontiac, Michigan, and the Giants have a first and 10. The ball near their own 23-yard line. They're down 7-3. Miller, the rookie from Tennessee, the speedster. A quick toss goes out to Wolfolk, and he bowls his way over the 25-yard line to about the 26-yard line before Mike Coper, the rookie from Tennessee, made the stop.
First quarter stats. Giants leading, first downs, rushing yards equal, passing yards, Giant edge. Turnovers none, Giants edge in time of possession. But that's been true much of the year for the Giants. Their pattern of play continues. They don't capitalize. Long drives, controlled short passes, an occasional run that will break for some yardage. Witness Wolfolk tonight. But then the breakdown when most it counts. The other team capitalized.
The Giants with 33 turnovers on the year, coming in to the night tops in the NFL after 9 games. Wolfolk bobbles it right there. And the Lions are all over it. But it was close to being out of bounds. Ken Cincinnati made the hit. Wolfolk fumbled ahead, and the Lions have the football, and they will be deep in Giant territory. The 34th turnover of the season.
Alvin Hall, I guess, was the one that came up with it. But, Frank, you're right. The Lions almost kicked that thing out of bounds. We'll see it again. I didn't see who hit him.
Because they didn't fall on it and sought to pick it up. What?
Oh, man. Benson.
There is Gary Cobb jarring the ball loose, and everyone's after it, and it almost gets out of bounds, and the Giants would have retained it for a first down had it gone out of bounds. Such is not the case, and the Lions have field position at the Giants' 36-yard line.
Alvin Hall recovered that by default. Nobody wanted it.
Norris in motion. The flea flicker. And a man open. It's Mark Nichols, and Nichols will have a Detroit Lions first down. Not badly covered by the Giants, considering it was a rather startling play on first down.
Frank, Sandy, I can't remember so many flea flickers as we look at an end zone replay as we've had this year. It started in the opening game, Miami against the Jets, when Shula advised the officials before the game. Remember, if my quarterback's in the shotgun, he becomes an eligible receiver.
You know, it's really funny, Dick. I promise you. I think I dreamed this last night. I don't think I ever did that in my life. Look at it.
Big opening for James Jones, and Jones gets down close to the 15-yard line for a gain of 4. And there is Alvin Hall, who came up with the football.
The Miami University of Ohio.
Found him, as Monty Clark told us, in the Gong Show. The Gong Show meaning the workout in the spring for free agent tryouts. They run them down the field, and if they don't look like they're going to survive, they gong them, and they're out of here. But Alvin Hall is now the starting free safety. We've got a second down and 6. Billy Sims. Sims got away from Brad Van Pelt. It should have been a 2-yard loss. He turns it into a 3-yard pickup.
You talk about a super effort. You talk about a talent. Look at this guy.
He's almost gymnastics, Don.
Well, he really is, Frank. He stumbled a little bit right there, but it's the balance. You know, the only thing you can say about that is just enjoy watching him do it, because there's very few that can do it that way. Nice going, Billy.
In the Monday Night Football Superstars, for 40 yards, he was head-to-head with Lofton. And then suddenly,
pneumonia after that. 3rd down 4. And the Lions will work from the shotgun. They got another flea flicker plan. If that's a lateral, that'll be a live ball.
That was a pass, I think. But Hipple made a
No, they're
mistake.
going to call that a lateral. That could have been taken. They're marking it right there where it went out of bounds, and had the Giants been up there alertly,
they could have gone all
right
the way.
now, Terry Kennard, the number 1 draft pick, is the man who is down, the rookie from Clemson.
Hipple had a little lapse of memory over there, or he kind of relaxed. That ball didn't. I thought it was a pass, but they call it. Let's look at it again. We'll see what we come up with.
Hipple will give it to Jones. He'll try to get it back to Hipple, and I think Hipple forgot he was on the other end of it. I think you're right, Don.
One of your basic Sandlot plays.
All right, the old Glenn Dobbs jump pass. And that was a lateral, and they will mark it at the 17-yard line, and they are still working on Terry Kennard, who seems to be in intense pain. He is down to being treated the right ankle. Yards of tape being used on Terry Kennard. He got up off the field and ran off the field, so it could not be too severe an injury. And meanwhile, the Lions are confronted with 4th down, and they have brought out Eddie Murray for a 35-yard field goal attempt. Quarterback Hipple is the holder. And no deception here as Murray pops it through the uprights, and the Lions now lead the Giants 10-3. We'll be back at the Silverdome in just a moment. Leon Bright settles in at the goal line, awaiting the kick of Ed Murray, whom we told you earlier keeps shaking that leg out there. He did have a little bit of a muscle pull in the workout prior to the game. And he practically skulled one the last time he kicked off. This one he puts up high, reasonably short. We'll watch John Tuggle. And Tuggle returns Murray's short kick to the 30-yard line, with the Giants down now 10-3. Will trot their offensive unit out.
Murray is limping off. I didn't know that, Frank. He kicked the tee that time more than he kicked the ball. That's why it didn't go very far.
I think what Brad Van Pelt was discussing on the sideline was that the Lions have on several occasions now come out with both tackles on the same side. In other words, an unbalanced line. We better discuss how to get a handle on Billy Sims. 1st down and 10, 30-yard line of the Giants. Giants again will pass on 1st down. By time, Eddings is there, and he does not hold on.
Oh, Eddings. He was open for a long time coming across the middle.
He had attracted a crowd, too, in Bruce McNorton and Alvin Hall.
And he got that ball to him about this time, right in here. Now, there's not any defensive people around. But the ball doesn't get there until about 5 steps later. But that's still right over the outstretched arm. Now, you got to catch that ball.
Yeah, he should have had it.
You got to catch that.
But you're right, the ball should have been thrown earlier.
Teddy was a little linebacker, had a pretty good drop there.
2nd down and 10.
Now,
Ritter steps out of bounds. He'll pick up about 3 yards on it. It'll bring up a 3rd down and 7. Curtis Green making sure that Bruner made a wise decision and got out of bounds.
I tell you, they have had a hospital ward since the start of the season, in fairness to them. They're overbuilt up in the preseason. Many media people in New York, I mean many, picked the Giants to be in the Super Bowl.
Well, that's not over.
That puts a needless pressure on them, too. Some of them actually believed it. That hurts, too.
3rd down and 7. Batted away and almost caught. And now they're saying no, incomplete. It'll bring up 4th down. And out comes the punting unit once again.
Had that been caught for the intercept, that could have blown this game open early.
Dave Jennings averaging a little over 40 yards, but he's been kicking many of them in close. He leads the NFL in kicks out of bounds inside the 20, which usually is an indication with a short average of 40.4 that he has been kicking in close. You got to look at Ken Jenkins, the rookie from Bucknell, via the Philadelphia Eagles. Jenkins, well, he took a chance, but it didn't work too good. Hustling down there was Mike Dennis. That'll be 1st and 10 for Detroit. Coming up here on ABC this Saturday, 3 o'clock Eastern Time, 2 Central, 6 o'clock Pacific. Howard Sports Feed, Emmy Award winner, followed by a great college football slate, live at 3:30 Eastern Time. Undefeated and 4th-ranked Georgia goes against 3rd-ranked Auburn. If Georgia wins, they'll clinch the SEC title and the Sugar Bowl bid. That'll be their 4th consecutive time. Auburn, of course, has a great tailback in Bo Jackson, the top all-purpose yardage leader in that conference, and the number 2 rusher.
Auburn has some football team, and that should be quite a game.
Also, Nebraska, number 1 ranked Nebraska, going against Kansas.
They may score 80 this week.
And slow getting up for Detroit is August Curley. He's a rookie linebacker out of USC. And a fine football player on their special teams here.
That kick runner you mentioned, Jenkins, the rookie from Bucknell. What a story he's become here in Detroit. The Eagles let him go. The season well underway. He's already gained more yards returning kicks than the team that let him go had gained all season going into yesterday's 27-20 loss to Dallas. Kenny Jenkins, Bucknell, Lewisburg, Pennsylvania.
You like those kind of guys, don't you?
I do.
Yeah.
I get a great kick out of those small college guys.
It's fun to see a guy like that can come around and doesn't have the greatest PR people around maybe to let him know what he can do and then see him make it. That's good. Not unlike Eric Hipple. As Frank said earlier, we had to look him up in the press guide a few years ago.
And I'm not sure he was even in it.
That's right.
August Curley being assisted off. Looks like he may have a troublesome left knee. You hate to see it. So Detroit, 11-18 remaining in the first half, out on top of the Giants 10-3.
Well, we have the opportunity, Frank. Harry Carson came over to me today and said, would you please tell Doug Coder and the family that we're all still with him and we love him.
21-yard line, first down and 10 Detroit. Reese McCall in motion and Billy Sims looking for yardage up the middle.
That was funny.
He tried to spin back inside, lost his footing, down he went. Still getting a couple of yards out of it. Give him 3, it'll be 2nd and 7.
That Carson is a tremendous fellow. You know that, Frank?
He was amazing last week. He'd been out of action, had arthroscopic surgery on the knee, had worked out 2 days, came in against Dallas and had 19 individual tackles. Big number 53, Carson of the Giants. 2nd and 7, the blitz is on. Taylor trying to get to Hippo and going underneath to James Jones, the rookie out of Florida. He fumbles the football and there's a mad scramble.
I think the ball was
They've
dead.
got it. And Detroit says, we have it.
Ball was real dead. And it was a proper call.
And that will be first down yardage.
Picked him up pretty good. You see Billy coming out under, trying to get across. Got James over this side. James may go. You know what? That wasn't a fumble. I thought the old thing about if it hits the ground, it can't cause a fumble, but I believe he fumbled before he hit the ground.
Seen that way in the replay, I must confess.
Ruled a first down pickup for Detroit. They have it at their own 33-yard line. This is Jones again, and the big rookie crawls forward for about 4 yards, but a flag is down. And usually when you get the flag where this one is situated, you're going to get this call, which is holding. James Jones has really changed their whole thinking for Monty Clark and his offensive unit. That's Ted Marchibroda with him. But they can use this big man in many ways because he played with a pro-type offense down at the University of Florida. As a matter of fact, he had 68 receptions as a collegian, not to mention having great rushing years.
Holding, number 52, offense, still first down.
And while James, as Monty Clark pointed out, doesn't have the greatest foot speed in the world, He raves about his vision, his awareness, the ability to see everything on the field seemingly at the same time. I think it's going to be a great start.
And he goes 228 pounds. Mott, the rookie center from Alabama, was holding for Detroit. First down at 20. Hippo pops it up, and Detroit is right there.
He was
Brad Van Pelt pulled it out of the arms, and it was quickly covered by the offensive right guard. That's Don Greco.
Very alert play by Greco because that ball hit the ground. He was on it.
And Hipple was just lucky.
That's August Curley. They are looking at that right knee. He does have a brace on it already. And now a Giant is shaken up. And Jerome Sally now, he is the third nose tackle the Giants have had in action. As we look at Hipple and watch Brad Van Pelt stick the arm in there, knock it out. And Greco was right there. But now the Giants, with Sally going to the bench, they lost Bill Neal the first game of the season. Jim Bird has gone on the injured reserve. He was the backup nose tackle. Now they're with Charles Cook. They just picked him up this last week. He was cut by the Jets. He was cut by the Giants earlier. He's there at nose tackle. Second down and a bundle for Hipple. Flag is down. Hipple gets the ball to Billy Sims.
There'll be some more flags down because they got linemen down the field.
And Sims works his way back across the field, but you're right, Don. Flags went down. Hipple ran around. Lineman went downfield. He threw the ball, and we're going to have a combination, which is usually what gets all the officials together. Holding against the Giants. Illegal receiver downfield. We'll do the whole thing over.
Holding, number 10, defense, ineligible downfield on the pass. Number 52, offense, penalties offset, still second down.
Steve Mott, the center for Detroit, was trying to get down there and get open, I guess.
Well, that was a delayed screen out there, and you're supposed to time, they worked on it, timed out 1, 2, 3, whatever it is. That's an amazing little statistic right there.
Giants penalties and Detroit, the two most penalized teams.
Well, you have to lead in something.
Mm-hmm. Leaders are lonely, Frank. That's all there is.
Second down and 24. Billy Sims. Nice conservative call. Let's get it out there where we can maneuver a little more freely, and Billy Sims collects about 12 yards, and it will put the Lions in a third down and 12.
As the young man from Delaware, Scott Bruner, we've mentioned in earlier telecasts that whatever his shortcomings mechanically, he does have a sense of the game. His father, a football coach, he grew up with the game, all over it from the beginning, and he's got a presence, and he knows how to take defeat because he's had to learn that.
Father John is Bart Starr's offensive backfield coach over Green Bay. Probably watching tonight as we watch Hipple getting away from what could have been an easy sack. Down he goes. He gets the ball free. And he fires it to Thompson out of the backfield, and we're going to have holding once again against Detroit.
Lawrence Taylor, there's a guy that almost made the sack in there. He came in so fast, he ran by him.
All right, while they mark it off, we'll pause 5 seconds and allow our stations to identify themselves.
WABC TV, New York.
Lawrence Taylor stayed on the carpet. Looked as though he was shaken up a little bit, and I think what it was, he was just upset that he didn't get the sack. He had a pretty good shot at him. As Don mentioned, he blew right by him. Lions will have to punt. The Lions, as I mentioned earlier, have won 3 of their last 4. They blew the Bears away last week in what the Bears were characterizing as a grudge game. And Billy Sims came in with his best game of the season, 91 yards. Michael Black, 7th round draft pick out of Arizona State. Leon Bright is deep for the Giants at the 15-yard line. Oh, Black has hung one up there beautifully. Leon Bright, still no fair catch. Flag is down, and Bright gets out over the 25-yard line, and we usually get the illegal block and you get this call.
Might have been one of those. Yeah, Roosevelt Barnes was the guy that was down there in a hurry.
Hey, that takes a lot of concentration. And Barnes was coming right into Leon Bright. He stayed with the ball all the way.
Same call. We've grown accustomed to that pace. Officials now dominating these games.
Like breathing out and breathing in.
That's a bad scene.
Well, they ought to learn the rules. The players, I mean.
Illegal uses of hands, number 24, receiving team on the run back. First down.
The Giants will start deep in their own territory at the 8-yard line. 8 minutes remaining in the first half.
Well, they got a point.
Well, I frankly didn't have anything better to do. We got a pretty good football game. Giants were down there earlier, in case you weren't with us. They had what appeared to be a first down goal to go. They had got a 5-yard penalty. They had to settle for a field goal, and they trailed by 7 points. On 1st and 10 at the 8-yard line, Rob Carpenter, right side, nothing doing, breaks it back to the middle, and gets a yard and a half as Jimmy Williams was there initially for Detroit.
You know, Frank, I think you're right, and I think I'm right. They should learn the rules. They should play by them. But the rules are now so complicated, sometimes the officials can't keep up with these situation substitutions. One play this year, the Giants faced 12 men on defense. Everybody was double covered. The officials never saw it.
Nor did the coaches. So they looked at the movies. 2nd and 8. Woolfolk.
Not this time.
Oh, Woolfolk is bobbling in the end zone. The best this will be with safety. It is a safety as the Giants cover in their own end zone.
Oh, no.
Second fumble of the night for Woolfolk, who perhaps maybe trying just a little extra hard as Rich Humphrey saved the touchdown by covering for the Giants.
This was a play that we've seen him run successfully to the right side twice tonight. They came back, tried to go to the left side. Clogged up a little bit more. Just one of those mistakes. You know, Shake, you can't. What are you going to say?
That's just effort. He's trying hard.
Yeah.
He's going to lose it.
Can't afford to lose it.
That was Doug English that knocked it out of his hand. He just carried it a little bit loose. Follow it right there. That's instead trying to pick that thing up.
Humphrey covers it. That brings about the safety. 2 points for Detroit. And the Giants will kick from their own 20. We'll be back in a moment. You can put the ball in play after a safety, either with a punt or a place kick, although you cannot use the tee on the place kick. So Jennings is on. He'll have to kick from his 20-yard line, and Jenkins is back for Detroit. There he is. Jennings doesn't turn it over, but he carries it inside the 30 of Detroit. Jenkins, however, brings it back close to midfield. Good little burst of speed there as Jenkins saw just a little bit of an opening, and he gets the first down for Detroit near their own 48-yard line on a 21-yard return.
That's my kid from Bucknell, Don. Did you see him accelerate?
He did. Oh, no. Got another guy down. Gosh, I hate to see that. Rob Rubik.
Rob Rubik is down now. Earlier you saw August Curley go out. The report on him was a sprained knee, and there's a man who caused the safety and could just as well have caused the touchdown. He's having a great year, Doug English.
He's
Pro
all
Bowl
pro.
the last couple of years, and he had 9 sacks from that inside tackle position this year.
In my book, nobody better at the position than in the league. Rubik got hit in the nose. Curley suffered a sprained knee. We've had that injury report. Rubik from Grand Valley State. You haven't yet seen a wide receiver that Detroit has named Jeff Chadwick, may be the second best rookie wide receiver in the league.
First down and 10 for Detroit at their own 48, and Hippolu's back. He wants the bunt, going for Thompson. He's the speedster, and is picked off by Terry Jackson. Hippo tried to get deep to Leonard Thompson. He has terrific speed. The Cowboys worked on Jackson, who had missed several weeks with a knee last week. The Lions tried it, and Jackson gets the interception.
He had it all the way.
Gary Jackson, who hurt his knee in a Green Bay game that we brought you. Let's watch him. He's still bothered by it, but he actually hurt it, congratulating Mark Haynes on a goal line tackle. Good position, however.
Leonard Thompson was out there. That ball just, you know, if he could throw it a little further, maybe he would have had a better shot at it, but he was a little bit underthrown from where Thompson was.
It was identical to a pass to Tony Hill. Well, Tony Hill caught.
Came back and caught it.
Came back and caught it. This time Jackson is reading it all the way. First down and 10. Here comes the Woolfolk. They come right back with it. Flag is down. We'll get a face down.
No clip.
Jimmy Williams up there defensively.
Jimmy's dancing a little too soon, Jimmy, because you got him by the face mask. They're going to penalize you for that. They showed a little confidence in Woolfolk. They said, hey, let's go ahead and try it again.
Like this. In replay, you'll see it clearly.
Carpenter out on the lead one. Here he comes.
Look at that.
That's what he's got. Yeah, I think he got it. He kind of slipped his hand off there after he realized what he had, but it was a little too late.
Not a flagrant call, so it'll be 5 yards, but an automatic first.
There you go, Terry.
So he congratulated Mark Haynes. That was a great one-on-one tackle. Although, I must say, the man running the ball at the time, Lewis, could have gotten in that defeat of Green Bay. Remember,
What a strange way to be hurt, congratulating your own teammate. I don't understand this. They haven't used the first time markers. Carpenter up over the 15 to the 17-yard line. Alvin Hall defensively there for Detroit.
what a strange way to get hurt, you said. The Giants get hurt in the strangest ways. Martin's out. McGriff is out. Neal is out. And no man was ever hit in sustaining the injury. You realize that?
I couldn't believe that. Bill
And Sims was hurt on a freak, too.
Out comes the 6 for the measurement. And there is more chalk work on the sideline. Detroit dancing around out there tonight. They're doing it defensively, too. They're shuffling personnel without William Gay in there. They are using a lot of Mike Dawson. Mike Fanning has been working on that defensive line.
As an example of the three-man hurt without being hit, take the defensive end Martin, a great pass, a designated pass rusher. Very effective at his position. Suffered a herniated disc when he went into a new stand.
That's the problem he's had. He's not even here tonight. And he has really got himself a problem with his back. We're talking about the Giants' fine defensive end, George Martin. Second down, you saw how much. Carpenter, and he moves up to the 20-yard line. He has the first down, and of course he's driven back by Jimmy Williams, but his momentum carried over the first down mark.
Do you ever get hurt by a change of stance, Tom?
No, I tried it. If I ever found a good one, I just stayed with it. I stayed in one stance for about 9 years. Hut two.
I would take a look at it from the end zone for you. Bruner has high percentage number of pass plays on first down, but this time he moves to Woolfolk, and he is banged and hit hard. Doug English was there, and Jimmy Williams was there.
His head is spinning a little bit.
You see, Williams is going to come in a little bit late from his linebacker position. He had an outside coverage that time by Mike Coper, and there he was.
Lions defensive line just beating the Giants offensive line off the ball. Watch it again from the end zone. Second down and 10. Carpenter single step back, and Bruner will go on top. A lot of time, and Moat, the tight end, is wide open. He's out over the 30, close to the 33, and a Giant first down.
And that was it. A lot of time. He kept thinking somebody's going to get back there to Bruner, and they just kept him out just long enough, and old Zeke was standing there by himself right in the middle.
This is the way the Giants typically move the ball. The short, controlled, high percentage pass. There it looked like a sack might eventuate, but he had forever.
Hey, they keep covering him with linebackers. The Cowboys tried it a week ago, and he caught a 46-yard touchdown pass against them. He's noted as a blocker, Zeke Mowat, but he's turning into a pretty good receiver. Eddings has yardage close to a first down, about a foot short, stopping the clock with 4:38 remaining in the first half. It'll be second down, short yardage. A waist down if Parcells would like to consider that. The Giants trailing now 12-2.
What the Giants are trying to do is develop speed receivers. They now have 3 who can run. How well they catch may be another thing. That's the problem.
Carpenter underneath. He has the first down up about the 49-yard line.
Parcells made what I thought was a good comment about his speed receivers that he has out there. He says if you don't have those guys, you never can really open up those middle zones. And that's a good point. I know.
Throw the intermediate pass.
The intermediate pass. Right. That's right. You got to have them be fast enough to get down there.
Hey, they have got world-class speed up there and out on the field. Mike Miller. And Byron Williams and Floyd Eddings. Youngsters, all of them, but they have great speed. First and 10. Gray stops the clock after a pickup of about 7 inside the 45-yard line. Jimmy Williams out there defensively.
I've always felt you throw that pass, you've got until they stop it. And I don't mean stop it with an interception. You get up there as a quarterback, you can look at that defensive cornerback. If one side or the other, if they're playing man-to-man, run both those guys a little 5-yard flare out, 6-yard flare out. If you've got good receivers, they've got some speed, they can break that thing for a long way.
Bruner is 8 out of 12 for 69 yards. This is typical controlled Giant drive.
Carpenter trying to get 2 for the first down. He'll be very close to it. Doug English coming in there underneath for Detroit, but Carpenter very close to the first down. The Giants have 3 timeouts as we are inside 4 minutes.
Have you ever noticed, Frank, you keep possession of the ball this long, keep going this way with these high percentage but short yardage plays, sooner or later, on balance, a team makes a key mistake.
But if you don't do it that way, they're going to try to make maybe a bigger play than they can make, and that's where they've been making turnovers too. So sooner or later, they're just not as good as they want to be. They've got to get some better players. That's all there is to it.
How did you deduce that?
How did you figure that out?
That's not color. That's philosophy. That's it. Bruner got a first down earlier with the quarterback sneak, and he'll have another one.
Well, next week, we've got Eric Dickerson. And what a player that is. And we've got William Andrews. We should have a shootout next week. I look forward to it.
Yeah, and the good news is both of them are going to bring the rest of their teams to play, too. That's really good.
I'm not so sure that's good.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we're going to be down in Atlanta. That's going to be good. Atlanta lost one last week to New Orleans.
Well, we'll see. White Shoes, I'll tell you, he put on a show at Shea Stadium, one of the best I've ever seen.
First and 10 Giants inside the 42-yard line of Detroit. Bruner looking for Eddings. And Eddings takes it down out of bounds. It'll be an incompletion, stopping the clock at 2:59 remaining in the half.
You know what we got next week, too? I think listen to me, 2 of the prettiest passers in the National Football League. They throw, and I don't mean they're both pretty looking, but they really throw good balls. You know what I'm talking about?
You're talking about Steve Bartkowski and Vince Ferragamo.
I just checked and see if you knew who was going to play.
They really do put a pretty spiral on it, and they
do.
like to go deep with it.
Yeah, they're pretty guys, too. They're pretty guys.
Well, you see the play Preston Bernard makes in the halftime highlight.
Okay.
Second down and 10. Wilcock in motion. Blitz is on. And Bruner chased out of the pocket, and Mike Soper, a rookie from Tennessee, gets his second sack of his young NFL career.
At 6 defensive back, 4 receivers. And there wasn't anybody open down there.
For the Giants, that's too bad because they don't have to get it much further down the field. At least Ali Haji Sheik could come on for an attempt. They tried it from 66 yards out.
Very hard to close
St. Louis.
That's true. I couldn't believe that. 66 yards field goal attempt.
Well, he was only 38 short.
Frank wants him tested.
From the shotgun on 3rd down and 13. And this is Mike Miller, the rookie from Tennessee, picked up from the Green Bay Packers a little earlier in the season. He was a Packer 4th-round draft pick, and that will bring up 4th down. And we are waiting to see if we will get Sheik or Dave Jennings. And it's going to be Ali Haji Sheik, and it's going to be a longie.
Come on, Ali.
He can do this.
Well, he'll be looking over a 57-yard effort as we have arrived at the 2-minute warning. So young Ali Haji Sheik, a Michigan rookie, will have time to think it. Ali Haji Sheik is on for the Giants. He set a Giant record earlier in the season in a game we brought to you from Giant Stadium at 56 yards. The Giants are confident enough to let him try it from 66 yards in St. Louis. He is 17 of 19 on the year. He missed the first field goal attempt of his career in the Ram game, and he missed a 66-yarder. Of those 17 he's made, Howard, only one of them has been over 40 yards, and that was a 56-yard effort.
But that proves to us that he can do this. He's got the foot.
He's got the legs, and he gets it up quickly. He has a new Giant record. 56 yards 5 weeks ago, 57 yards a moment ago. He is 18 of 20 on the year. We first saw him in the Pittsburgh preseason game, and we were amazed at the distance the young man can get and how high he gets it.
How quickly he gets the ball up.
This is the best 9th-round draft choice almost within memory.
They are officially saying 56 yards because he was inside the 57-yard line, so it will go in the books as a 56-yarder. So he has tied his own Giant record. Remarkable young man. He does it so easily. He doesn't even work hard on it, he says. We'll be back after this from the National. The preceding announcement brought to you by the National Football League and, of course, the Detroit Lions. Great tackle, Doug English. Cheek to kick off. Alvin Hall is deep. But this will be Ken Jenkins. And Jenkins almost got another big opening, but the Giants corral him at the 25. He falls to the 26, where we have 1:49 remaining in the first half. And Detroit, because of a timeout they used earlier to rest Billy Sims, they have 2 timeouts.
Going back to Sheik's kick, Frank, he had to have been helped to some degree, which takes nothing away from the man's remarkable kicking ability by the fact that it occurred here in the Silverdome. By the way, it's the longest kick ever executed here, but no wind factor at all.
Bruner would have moved it back about 6 inches. It would have been a new Giant record. Sheik having, of course, kicked that 56-yarder against Green Bay. The Lions now lead 12-6. And they are looking for more points. They'll come from the shotgun. Quick shot out to Billy Sims. He looks for yardage. Decides he'd rather stop the clock at 1:43. Steps out of bounds after a pickup of 4. It'll be 2nd down and 6.
One happy fella.
He's easy, too. He's easy to deal with. Some kickers aren't. But he makes no big deal out of it. He doesn't even... So many of them are so exact. He just likes to have Bruner plop it down, and he just kicks away.
Does not look unlike Chet 40 many years ago.
Many years ago.
2nd down and 6. Again from the shotgun. Again, good protection. And that's the youngster we were talking about earlier. That's the free agent out of Grand Valley State, Jeff Chadwick. That was his 19th reception on the year, and he's averaging over 15 yards a try. 2-minute drill for Detroit. Again from the shotgun. Triple again with the time, and he fires a shot, and it's complete to Billy Sims, who's short of the first down inside the Giants' 45-yard line. Detroit, again, with only 2 timeouts. They want to save them. This will be a pass, looking for the completion. Or to stop the clock. Now they'll probably have to use one. As, again, it is Chadwick. And Hippo calls timeout Detroit has a first down and 10. They're at the Giants' 37-yard line. 53 seconds remain in the half.
The Pittsburgh Steelers are red hot. They've got the longest winning streak in the NFL, 6 straight. Chuck Noll, a miracle man. Yesterday, the score 0-0, the game's first series. Cliff Stout passing to the brilliant one from Baylor, Walter Abercrombie. He moves 51 yards downfield. And that set off a Cliff Stout handoff, which you're about to see, to the same Mr. Abercrombie as he barrels in for the score. Good offensive line blocking there. 7-0 Steelers became 10-0. And then Ed Luther with that, and the ball picked up by Mel Blunt. Touchdown. Steelers won 26-3 over Chargers.
Yeah, their defense is outscoring their offense, isn't it?
Well, they did. Oh, remember Cincinnati, those guys.
I remember when they said the Steelers were a team in transition. I think Chuck Noll started that 2 years ago.
That's our story here with 53 seconds remaining here in the first half. Detroit looking for that win that would keep them within 1 game of Minnesota, the NFC Central Division, tied with Green Bay. The Giants at 2-6-1, looking for respectability. On first down, Hipple again for the shotgun. And it's going to be picked off. The receiver slips, and Jerry Jackson has his second interception of the night. It was Leonard Thompson, the intended receiver. He slipped, and Hipple had it behind him. An interception, and the Giants have lost the shot at additional points.
Well, you take a look. He did slip, but the ball looked to me to be thrown quite a bit behind him anyway.
Maybe he slipped trying to go back for it.
He may have, because Jackson was right there. I think it surprised him, too.
The Giants have 44 seconds. They have their 3 timeouts. And this will be a coaching decision on the part of the Giants. Ron Earhart and, of course, Bill Parcells. Do we want to try to get some points? 44 seconds is a lot of time, and they are going to have good field position from the 35-yard line. Wofolk will have another Giant first down, which might become academic, but he gets out to the 45-yard line. Seconds ticking away. Now Brunner will call timeout with 35 seconds remaining, and the Giants have 2 timeouts.
Another miracle coach has to be Chuck Knox. Dan Reeves, too, for that matter, in the Kingdome yesterday. Score 6-3 Seattle. Dave Krieg. Watch this throw into the end zone, and it's Steve Largent, touchdown. That made it 13-3 Seattle. In the very next series, Luke Prestridge, unable to punt, tried to run. Forced down short of the first down. And that set up Mr. Krieg again, number 17. Play action fake there, and the deep throw. Number 85, Paul Jones. And Seattle won it 27-19.
And Seattle is for real.
I tell you, that Chuck Knox is something.
He has a way of just winning, doesn't he?
He sure does. Bruner's almost in Sheik's range. Another quick short control pass, and the Sheik can kick another.
Brunner back onto the field.
You know Frank once held the Cotton Bowl record for field goal kicking, 54-yarder.
You heard me tell down there. I must admit it was preseason.
Didn't matter. You did it.
I want to check that out.
Well, you were in grade school. First and 10. Brunner. Carpenter. And Carpenter to the 35-yard line, and they are indeed now in field goal position. Roosevelt Barnes missed the tackle back at midfield.
Right now it's a chippy. Nothing to it. Well, let's look at another Jets disaster at Shea Stadium yesterday. In the third quarter, Baltimore was leading 3-0 when suddenly the Jets struck. Richard Todd back to pass. Deep down the right side. Lamb Jones, world-class speed, takes it in stride. Touchdown, 7-3 the Jets. But in the fourth quarter, Baltimore had recaptured the lead on Jet mistakes. It was 10-7. Mike Pagel under pressure. Watch this. You will see 73 Klecko, and there's Klecko, and 99 Gastineau. Pagel runs right, looking downfield. throws a waffle ball in the air. Look at it. And Bobby Jackson delivers it on a tip to Curtis Dickey, and the Colts won 17-14.
I saw a lot of that game, and I'll tell you something. Frank Cush has got this young team really playing football. They hit Jets out there when they, well, you better not have been standing around yesterday because they were going to hit you. And back to the live action Silverdome. 26 seconds remain on the halftime clock, and the Giants have one timeout remaining. Carpenter has taken it to the 35-yard line for 1st and 10, and Bruner back into the huddle.
The whole story, Frank. 2 words. Frank Cush. Done a remarkable job thus far.
Lions leading the Giants 12-6. Giants down to their final timeout. Fired complete, and Mike Miller has the ball at the 27-yard line, stopping the clock with 21 seconds. Good call.
They've got time to go for the TD, but they can't face a turnover the way Detroit did.
They have plenty of time, even to get the completion with a hurry-up offense to stop it with an incompletion. Quick look at Ali Haji Sheikh, who was hit from 27 tonight. And, of course, 56-yard line. We will watch this from the end zone.
There's no middle linebacker as such. There's 2 linebackers. You see him drop. There's a quick one. He is going for the touchdown, and he's going to intercept.
And that's picked off.
I can't believe that.
Bobby Watkins, a veteran cornerback. Watkins comes down with it, and the Giants lose the opportunity for 3.
I don't believe it, Bill. I guess you don't either.
I'm sure that Scott Bruner was told if you go with that play, it's got to be perfect or overthrow it.
He's yelling at him right now. Look at him.
There's a hitch, he said. Where's the hitch?
No one knows that better than Scott Bruner.
Well, we got a good look at that from the quarterback standpoint, and there was no pressure on him. So he had his mind made up to try to go that one shot deep for the touchdown. And if you're going to miss them, as they say, miss them high and outside.
That's right.
Well, Bobby Watkins has found a home at that left cornerback. Came up as a rookie 3 years ago, and he has been a starter since he got here. Look at it again. He played it well. That one, you'd have to say, Bruner should have thrown out of the end zone. 1st down and 10. Lions at their own 20-yard line. They'll run out the halftime clock. So Bobby Watkins turns back a Giant scoring threat. Bill Parcells visibly upset. They'll take his troops to the locker room where they'll regroup. Monty Clark will do likewise. We are 12-6 at halftime, and we'll be ready for our halftime highlights after this message and then a word from our local stations.
The score here in Pontiac, Michigan is 12-6 Detroit. Neither team playing well. Tonight's halftime highlights are being brought to you by Computerland, where you can make friends with the future. Computerland, a very special world. Arrowhead Stadium, Kansas City. The Raiders visit the Chiefs. First quarter action. Zip, zip. Mark Wilson, number 6. Back to pass. Looking for his man coming out in the backfield, number 27, Frank Hawkins, hitting him for the game's opening score, 7-0 Raiders. By the 3rd quarter, Kansas City had come back, leading 13-7. Familiar figure, yes, Jim Plunkett, in for the injured Mark Wilson. And the long pass, his specialty to Calvin Muhammad. Good for a lot of yardage, 45 to be exact. That set up the touchdown, put the Raiders at 14-13. But Bill Kenny in the 4th quarter passes to 35, Ken Thomas, and Kansas City led 20-14. On the very next series, Plunkett striking again, passes to the UCLA rookie Dokie Williams, 85, 21-20. Raiders led. They won it 28-20. Sullivan Stadium, Foxborough, Massachusetts. The Bills visiting the surprising Pats. And the score, 0-0 at this point in the contest. Joe Ferguson back to pass. He can be great, and he can have a lot of trouble, too, as he did right here. The pass picked off by Rick Sanford, number 25. Who now races it back, a total of 16 yards on the interception before being downed right there. Number 14, quarterback Steve Grogan, the angular one, is doing a pretty good job this year for the Pats. Right there, he throws deep downfield to the fleet-footed wide receiver from Tennessee, Stanley Morgan, who had 4 receptions on the day for a total of 67 yards. And that led to the score, 7-0. Now Grogan striking again. He will go long to the back. Clarence Weathers, who is an excellent football player and proving it more and more every week. In for the touchdown. Look at him. 2 receptions, 98 yards. 14-0 Pats. In the third quarter, still 14-0. And Steve Grogan again teams up with Clarence Weathers. This time, it's 58 yards and a touchdown. And so, the Pats went on to win it 21-7 as owner Billy Sullivan congratulated his team. The Hubert H. Humphrey Metrodome in Minneapolis, the winless Tampa Bay Bucks against the Vikes. But this man had himself some day. 31 rushes, 219 yards, 1 touchdown. Second quarter action, 7-0 Minnesota. And you've seen this so many times before. Minnesota blocks the punt. The ball goes back through the end zone, safety, and it's 9-0 Minnesota. But in the next series, Steve Dills back to pass for the Purple, and the ball is knocked out of his hand by Selman, picked up by Dave Logan. He goes all the way. Nobody near him. Touchdown. That made it 9-7 Vikes at halftime. In the third quarter, with the score still 9-7 Vikes. Jack Thompson handing off right there to Mr. Wilder. Now watch him go right through that slight open space. He can turn it on, as he does right there, down the sideline, all the way. Touchdown, 75 yards, longest run in Tampa Bay history, and the Bucks won it 17-12. The Louisiana Superdome, New Orleans, the Falcons against the Saints. Second quarter, 10-0 Falcons, 2 minutes left in the half. Bartkowski back to throw. But not this time. The ball intercepted by 25, Johnny Poe, and that set up the Saints' first score. It became 10-7 Atlanta. In the third quarter, 10-7 Atlanta. Dave Wilson handing off to 46, Hokie Gajan, who goes in for the score right up the middle, 9 yards, 14-10 Saints, fourth quarter. Dave Wilson pitching, as you saw, to George Rogers, the great man, number 38. Look at him go. 65 yards to the Atlanta 13-yard line. Rogers remains a dynamite talent. And that set up Dave Wilson's pass to a free agent out of Florida, number 89, Tyrone Young. Touchdown, 2010 Saints. The conversion attempt failed. In the Saints' very next series, they rolled again. And Dave Wilson, the young man at quarterback, in place of the injured Stabler, hands off to Hokie Gajan once more. And again, he spins right up the middle. Touchdown. The Saints went on to win it 27-10. They're tied for first NFC West. Anaheim Stadium, Anaheim, California. The Bears against the Rams. We pick up with second quarter action. Zip, zip. 1:30 remaining in the half. And there, the pitch from Ferragamo to the brilliant rookie Eric Dickerson barrels in for the score, 7-0 Rams. 14 seconds left in the half. Bears next possession. McMahon back to throw. Jim McMahon from Brigham Young. Highly touted as a rookie, had some troubles, continues to have them right there. Jim Collins picks it off, and so back to the Bears' 21-yard line. That set up more action by Ferragamo, and watch this closely. Back to pass. Ferragamo throwing in the direction of 88 Preston Denard. Preston leaps over the defender. His own personal tip drill. Picks it off. Touchdown. That made it 14-0 Rams at the half. Bears tried everything to come back. McMahon out of the shotgun. Hands off to Payton. And then watch McMahon out of the shotgun. Remember, he's an eligible receiver. Payton throws well. Throws to him. Touchdown. But too little, too late. The Rams went on to a 21-14 victory. And don't forget, next Monday night, the Rams visit the Falcons in Atlanta. Be with us. That should be a good one.
Halftime winding down here at the Silverdome in Pontiac, Michigan. Detroit over New York, 12-6. Reminder here on ABC, Saturday sports coming your way. We'll kick off our day with ABC Sports Beat. Howard takes a long look at a troubling problem. 3 NBA coaches having heart problems. Hubie Brown of the Knicks, Chuck Daly of the Detroit Pistons, and Scott Robinson. He's an assistant in Indiana. Interesting look at those coaches. And, of course, college football coming your way. That'll be live at 3:30 Eastern Time. 2 top-ranked teams, undefeated. 4th-ranked Georgia goes against 3rd-ranked Auburn. And for Georgia, if they win, they'll clinch the SEC title and a Sugar Bowl bid. That'll be their 4th consecutive Sugar Bowl bid. Auburn is, of course, led by a great tailback, Bo Jackson, the top all-purpose yardage leader in the conference and the 2nd leading rusher. And this could be one of the most significant games of the year, or you'll also have an opportunity to see Nebraska, number 1 ranked, against Kansas. College football at Sports Beat here Saturday on ABC, and we'll be back with second half action in the Silverdome at Pontiac in just a moment.
This ABC Sports Exclusive is being brought to you by Anheuser-Busch St. Louis, brewers of Michelob. Some things speak for themselves. By Buick, for comfort, reliability, innovation, and a real commitment to quality. See the 84 Buicks now. By New Gillette Foamy Gel.
Eric Hippo in the first half, 8 of 10, 77 yards, a couple of interceptions. The Detroit Lions, however, out over the Giants 12-6 as we get the second half underway. Aliassi keeps the kickoff. Jenkins is deep. And this will be Robbie Martin, however. And Robbie Martin out to the 23-yard line. And Hippo leads the offensive unit out onto the field, coming off a big game last week against the Bears. The Lions, winners of 3 of their last 4, beat the Bears last week 38-17. Hippo was 12 of 19 a week ago. Over 200 yards. Got himself a touchdown and no interceptions. And, of course, Detroit, with a victory tonight, will stay within 1 game of Minnesota in the NFC Central Division, tied with Green Bay at 5-5. Billy Sims. And Billy Sims over the 25 to the 26. Gain of 4. It'll be second down and 6. Let's take a look at the numbers.
Well,
from the first half.
Beginning with the first quarter, Giff, you saw the Giants with an edge, especially in time of possession. We move to the end of the first half. Giants have the edge, not the score, and that's the key. 2 Woolfolk fumbles contributed to Detroit field goal, then a Detroit safety.
And Sims tripped up, falls to close to the 30-yard line, short of the first down. A flag is down at the line of scrimmage. Offsides. Giants will be offside. Billy Sims moves over to the sideline.
You know, you're talking about these teams being the 2 most penalized teams in the National Football League.
Number 56, defense, still second down.
I wonder how many of those penalties would be what you would classify as mental errors, which I call offsides a mental error. That's just not paying attention, right?
Right.
Be a lot of them, I would guess.
Procedures. We saw the Giants run out the clock, get a delay a game when they had a first down goal to go inside the 5-yard line. They had to settle for 3 points.
That was inexcusable. That was the worst.
Second down and 2. Dexter Bussey is in there for Billy Sims. And Bussey, who filled in for Sims when he spent 3 weeks on the sideline with a broken hand, is the all-time leading rusher for the Detroit Lions. He's up there for a first down.
They need like 26 yards or something, Frank. I read something in the paper about Dexter from the Dallas area, and he says, boy, I hope I can get another 26 yards or whatever he needs.
That's what he needed.
Yeah.
To go over 5,000 yards. It's hard to believe with those great teams in the early 50s that nobody gained over 5,000 yards. You think of Hunchy Hornsmeyer, Doak Walker, and, of course, the great receiving combination of Bobby Lane and Troy Fox in those championship years. Billy Sims, left side.
Nick Pietrasani was kind of my vintage.
That's right.
He was a good runner up in here.
Different game then, though. Jimmy Brown changed everything. All by his lonesome.
Oh, Walter kind of slid in there yesterday, didn't he? Walter Payton.
Got over 11,000
Yeah.
yesterday.
Yeah, I love to watch Walter play.
And Franco goes on and on.
Yeah, he's a good guy, too.
Gain of about 3 after second down and 7. Hipple with a rolling pocket. Gets it to the rookie from Florida, Jones, who loses his helmet and comes up about a yard short, and they're going to drop the flag. Taylor and Brian Kelly were both in there defensively for the Giants, and the flag is down. It should work against the Giants.
Hipple with a rolling pocket, Frank said. Hank Stram is working the game on radio. He remembers by his precepts that he invented it in 1970. He finds them just catching up to him now. I love Hank.
That's Tom Owen, who was signed by the Giants this past week. Here's the call. Call working against Brian Kelly. But Tom Owen was signed when Jeff Rutledge dislocated his kneecap against the Cowboys a week ago. And, of course, I mentioned earlier, Phil Simms unavailable for the rest of the season. Compound fracture of the thumb and the passing hand. Owen's been around with the 49ers, New England, and Washington for 9 years. And the Giants needed a backup, so they got it. First down and 10. There was movement, and yet no flags. Billy Sims over the left side and just bolts his way into Giant territory. Gain of 5 to the Giants' 48.
I guess the Giant, who showed the movement, got back in time, but it did look like an offside. Here's the ISO on Sims, Don.
It appears to me that Brian Kelly is going to make a tackle in here that he'd not been there. Get Billy out that open. Billy could have picked up quite a bit of yardage out there. Got him by the foot.
Second down and 5. Jones and Sims, or rather Jones and Bussey now the setback for Detroit. Jones trying to get the quick opener for the first down. Is held to a yard pickup. It'll be third down and 3. The Lions won their first game of the season against Tampa Bay. Then they dropped 4 in a row. Now they have come back to win 3 of their last 4. Comes Mark Nichols now as the Lions bring in an additional tight end. They have Norris and Reese McCall.
I like that floating pocket right now, Howard. Let's just float that pocket out there a little bit. Nope.
Dexter Bussey, and he will not get the first down. As Billy Sims, inexplicably, is getting a little breather. He appears to be all right. He's been running in and out of the offense.
That was a long 3 yards to run off left tackle.
With your best running back on the bench.
Highly questionable call. Embellished by the reason Frank just stated, your best running back on the bench. And so the murmurs now...
They agreed with us, didn't they?
Yeah.
Some 60,000 of them.
Now grow to booze.
Leon Bright, what is it now? 104 punt fielding without a fair catch. Mike Black punting for Detroit. From Arizona State, who they kept this year because once again Tom Squidany was involved in a contract dispute, has put it out at the 1-yard line of the Giants. 44 yards. We'll be right back.
The scrappy young man who kicked another 56-yarder tonight, his second of this season. The first player in the history of the National Football League to have had 2 kicks in the same season of more than 50 yards. Only 10 players in the history of the league have done it, and only one other did it twice. Nick Lowry of the Chiefs. Pick up, Frank.
First down for the Giants. They're at their 1-yard line. Ernest Gray. It was incomplete. Working in front of Bruce McNorton, who is filling in for an injured Al Latimer at right corner for Detroit.
We are not seeing either impeccable or exciting football, to put it mildly. Just to finish, Lowry kicked one in 80, Frank, and the other one this year. One of 57 yards, one of 58 yards.
Second down. Giants inside their 2-yard line. Carpenter this time up the middle. Now close to the 5-yard line, where it will be third down and 8.
The stats you gave earlier, they don't do too well at 3rd and 8. 3rd and 6 on the end, they do pretty well in these situations, but something like 17, 18%, even that much. How much?
Far below the league average.
Speaking of embellishing those numbers, Howard, it really has been amazing the accuracy that field goal kickers have had this year. They're kicking at 72%, the best season ever in the NFL was 81, and they were just under 66%.
I know why. I'll tell you in a minute.
3rd and long for Bruner. Had a man there. It was Eddings. The flag goes down. I think is going to be defensive interference against Bobby Watkins working against Ernest Gray.
You could see it. He didn't lay, chucked him wrongly after the 5-yard zone and then held him.
So that'll get the Giants out from the shadow of their goal post and give them a first down. You'll see Bobby Watkins, 27, getting in the shot. There he is.
No question.
Actually, that ball was intended for Eddie. Where's the other Giant receiver? He got in a bit of a traffic jam.
So the Giants get a huge break. They would have had to kick, and
that was Eddings working against the strong safety William Graham. So the Giants have a first and 10 at their own 10-yard line. Carpenter breaking it back against the grain. Close to the 18-yard line, a gain of 8. William Graham on the stop. We're going to pause 5 seconds and allow our stations to identify themselves.
Eyewitness News follows the game on WABC TV New
Those
York.
are the folks that are bringing you the football game tonight. The Silverdome in Pontiac, Michigan, where Detroit leads the Giants 12-6. A very important game for Detroit as they try to stay close to Minnesota in the NFC Central. Single setback for the Giants is Rob Carpenter. Carpenter has the first down out close to the 25-yard line. Doug English slides over there from defensive right tackle and makes the stop.
Meanwhile, this injury-riddled Giant team, while it doesn't play well, while it fails to execute when it counts the most, is very much in this game. And if you're in the hunt for a playoff berth, which Detroit is, I still can't believe that call off left tackle on 3rd and a long 3, Andy. You got to play aggressively if you're after a playoff berth.
You would think so, but nobody wants to know why they're kicking a high percentage of field goals. I told you, I'd tell you in a minute.
Why?
Well, I'll tell you in a minute.
First and 10. Wolfolk goes down. Jimmy Williams, who is playing quite a game. The Lions' first-round pick of a year ago out of Nebraska, comes all the way from the right side and runs Wolfolk down, who, however, had to look and hunt for a hole as there was deep penetration by the left side of the line.
Okay, you want to know?
You got it.
All right, 2 reasons. 1, artificial surface. The ball in those old days would get down those mud holes and stuff like that. It's hard to kick. And number 2, you got better kickers.
It's a night of philosophy.
That's deep philosophy tonight. We'll watch it from the end zone. It's 2nd down and 11. Look out. Runner tries to get it to Wolfolk, and that could have been picked off, and flags are everywhere. It looked like a little bit of a late hit. Jimmy Williams working against Wolfolk. Bruner paid for it, too. He had to hold it for a long time.
And they're rapidly moving this ball downfield. Be a penalty.
Go with your long suit.
He goes to see old Scott move out a little bit to the outside. He gets hit just about the time he lets that thing go. I don't know. I don't know what all that is.
It results in a Giant first down at the 35-yard line. Just about midway through the third quarter. Detroit leading 12-6. Ritter looking for Gray. Gray has it, steps out of bounds near the 41-yard line. Gain of 6. Working again as the Giants have been. Don said, why don't they just stay with it? Because over on the right corner for Detroit, they have a youngster in there, Bruce McNorton, filling in for an injured Al Latimer, and he is laying way off the Giant receivers. If they can find the formation to get individual coverage, they can work there all night. Second down and 4. Woolfolk down the sideline, first down to the 47-yard line of Detroit. And Woolfolk got a good block from Billy Ard, the left guard who had pulled on that play. He broke smartly behind it, and he gets the first down.
And Woolfolk stayed over on the sideline. Frank looked like he may have pulled a little hamstring or got a cramp or something there.
Could have had a cramp.
Yeah.
As they go to work on it right away.
I'm impressed. He's running the ball quite well, as a matter of fact. He does have a little of that nifty speed they have back in there.
Gets better every time you watch him. He really does.
Except for the fumble.
Joe Morris is in. Second-year record-breaking running back from Syracuse. Gruner. And intended for the Giants' Eddings, but far out of his reach as Bruner read the zone. He was going to try to slip it in between the two, and Detroit covered it very well.
I love you like I do.
I don't know why. I just do. How many games have they sold out in a row at Giant Stadium?
Ever since they've been there.
Strange
76.
From Bones lives a big parade.
Second down and 10. Eddings in motion. All right. And Joe Morris is up close to the first down at the 35-yard line. He gets it as Ken Fancetti and Gary Cobb were there defensively, but this little man at 5'7", 195 pounds, he shattered all those great records set by Jim Brown, Larry Zonka, Floyd Little, as he rushed for just under 4,300 yards at Syracuse.
Offensive line is now doing a fine professional job. Quick off the mark, the blocking excellent. But we've seen them do this so many times before.
The drive started at the 1-yard line. Carpenter, another hole on the right side, and Carpenter uses it down to the 27. Gain of 8. As Butch Woolfolk, obviously suffering only a cramp, has come back into the lineup.
Carpenter had a little hole to work this time. We haven't seen Rob with much room to work. Slides out to the outside. It's kind of one of those influence blocks where they don't really try to take them any particular direction. They let that defensive lineman make his move first and then go with him. Open it up to the outside. He found a hole.
Second down, long 2. Woolfolk again back in the lineup. It is now reported that it was a cramp.
Another good hole. Good move there.
Has the first down close to the 20-yard line, and the Giants' offensive line is blowing out of there.
They really are, and that was an excellent call. They went the other way this time, running left.
It really is a little hard to see because you don't know. They can make a slight adjustment in that offensive blocking sometimes. It makes a lot of difference because either they're doing that or doing a heck of a lot better job of blocking. They've had good holes for the last 4 or 5 times they've run.
They're at a point where, should they have to resort to the field goal, maybe they'll get a concession with Cheek.
12 plays the Giants have used in this drive, benefited by a couple of first down penalty calls. Woolfolk right side. And this time, Jimmy Williams, who's playing some football game tonight, was there to make the stop, but nevertheless, Woolfolk will get 3 out of it.
Haven't seen our old friend Mike Fanning tonight, Giff.
They had him in there, I believe, a couple of plays early in the first half. They were jumping around a lot. They've settled down now and staying pretty much consistently in their 4-3.
That graphic needs no other words. The story of the Giants this year.
Second down, 7. Carpenter. And the Lions defense stiffening as Carpenter is held to about a yard. It'll put Bruner in the passing situation at 3rd down and 6. Will Parcells, former head coach of the Air Force Academy. He was drafted by the Detroit Lions a few years ago. 7th round linebacker.
A lot of years ago.
7th round pick out of Wichita State.
What was it you said last week, Dandy? Got off a good line. Picture of a man with a migraine.
That's one developing. 3rd and 7. And Bruner tried to slip it underneath the Missler. And Bobby Watkins, who is also playing a fine game defensively for Detroit tonight, was there. It'll be 4th down. We'll see Ali Haji.
Poor Parcells.
So this was the drive that started, on their own 1 or 2 yard line.
Yeah.
So
it was really enabled by that 3rd down interference call because they were stuck back in. But even with that break and the subsequent interference call in their favor, they couldn't sustain.
Giants can draw to within 3 points. So we don't anticipate Bruner, the holder, doing anything fancy at this point. 35-yard attempt. He's hit from 27 to 56. And now he's hit from 35.
He bisects the goalpost.
He is 19 and 21 on the year. 2 of those have been from 56 yards out. Quite a youngster. Giants then off over 6 minutes on the clock here in the 3rd quarter, settling for 3 points to draw within 3 of the Detroit Lions. 4:02 remaining in the 3rd quarter. Deep for Detroit. Ken Jenkins is back there. He's had a couple of sparkling returns already tonight. Robbie Martin also. Jenkins from the 3-yard line. And little concern for Body. But Jenkins hurdles to the 20-yard line where Detroit will have a 1st down and 10. They played it conservatively here in the 3rd quarter. That won't win for them. We'll be back. All the while we were away, Billy Sims was in the Detroit Lions huddle, and he first took his helmet off, went around and talked to each player, and I don't know what he was saying, but he wasn't smiling.
And he got the crowd fired
He turned
up.
around and fired up the crowd, and there's many of them on their feet.
Well, they need that because they're flat. Both things are flat. So I bet you Billy says, give it a ball, and I bet you they do.
1st down and 10. The Lions at their own 20-yard line.
I bet you I was wrong.
Hippo trying to get deep and throws it away as he is hit by Leonard Marshall, looking from LSU.
Marshall was chasing him all the way. In the meantime, I don't agree with you, Don. The Giants are improving. They didn't have an intercept. They didn't have a fumble. They didn't have a delay of game penalty at a critical moment. So they got a 3rd field goal. That's progress of sorts.
You're joshing, of course.
Giants trailing by 3 with 3:42 remaining in the 3rd quarter. This crowd is stoked up now. Billy Sims got everyone worked up. Except his teammates. 2nd and 10. Hippo, he has a man wide open. It's Mark Nichols, and Nichols has a Lion 1st down over the 35-yard line. Former Bakersfield Junior College football player who starred over at San Jose State.
Big Don
Round draft pick a couple of years ago.
You're going to see it again. Big Don Greco.
He's hurt.
Guard in there. 67 is hurt on this play. Let's see if we can see what happened. Like his knee just gave out. Good reception for Nichols. Ball was a little bit behind him. He had to turn there.
And no flag.
No flag. That's an improvement right there. I like that.
That's Don Greco coming out. And Larry Lee will come in at right guard. We'll try and pick up a report on Greco. But the Lions have a 1st down. They're at their own 39-yard line. Crowd still roaring. Billy Sims has turned them on. Here comes Sims. No, this is the big man, James Jones. Hey, he moves a big body in a real shifty way.
He's kind of quick without the actual speed, you know?
They have him listed at 236 pounds. 6'2", 22 years old. He's going to be around for a while, I would think.
He's doing a lot of good plays. And Billy Sims was out for those 3 weeks with a broken hand. He averaged just under 4 yards a pop, and he is a good blocker, good receiver coming out. And he's quite a weapon when he's in there with Billy Sims as he is right now. This is Jones again. Good quick cut, and he was met.
Whoa, was he
That
met?
had to be Carson.
I believe you're right.
You can hear Carson from up here. Harry Carson, and he met the big man, and things stopped right there, short of the first down. I'll tell you, this is a great effort.
Carson is 235, 6'2", and they just go head on. Harry, he says, come on, let's do it. There it is.
He is such a great athlete, Carson. He's so proud of South Carolina State, too. He'll point out he comes from there. Donnie Shell from there. Downtown Charlie Brown from there.
I'll tell you, Jones just knew he had a first down, and he was held 2 yards short of it. Jones again, right side, and Jones is tripped up. Good effort this time by another All-Pro, Mark Haynes, and it'll bring up fourth down.
I tell you, this crowd is getting a little bit disenchanted, which again is the
I
understatement.
question just a little bit. Billy Sims, in that possession, did not touch the football.
That really did fool me, too, Frank. I said, well, you know, what he's got to be saying is, let's get this thing going. And if he's doing the talking, let him do the walking.
Football. That's right.
Yeah.
That's the second time we've seen them give up the football in the whole series without Billy getting the ball.
Mike Black, he put it out at the 1 yard line in a prior effort. Leon Bright is back to the Giants. This time, Mike Black doesn't turn over. It's low, and here comes Leon Bright. Hey, Leon Bright over the 35-yard line. Good return. There was good coverage on the part of Detroit. He just pecked and looked until he found a little opening, and he gets out over the 35 before he's taken by Horace King.
And no flag.
Back in Pontiac, Michigan, the Giants have the football. Nice return by Leon Bright. They're at their own 35-yard line. 3 points down to the Detroit Lions with 1:12 remaining here in the third quarter. Carpenter, 4-yard effort out to the 40-yard line.
He picked that out.
Second down and 6.
Got a good block in front of him from the center.
And Woolfolk, again, I think has that muscle cramp as he hobbles to the sidelines, and Joe Morris comes back in. Crowd of 68,000 plus tonight. Matter of fact, just under 69,000. The game blacked out here in the local market as it was not sold out. Extended for drive time. Joe Morris, he's a powerful little man. He's very close to a first down, and he just lowered the shoulder.
I think he got it.
Uh-oh.
Packed a lot of weight into 5'7", and I'm really busted. Billy Sims didn't handle the ball, I don't think, in the last 2 series, and I'm sure it's not because he doesn't want it.
He is disgusted, and he's doing little to hide the fact.
Carpenter just was carried off. That doesn't look too good for the Giants. And Rob Carpenter goes to the sideline. Woolfolk on the sideline. You now got the backups to both running positions.
John Tuggle comes in at fullback, a rookie 12th round draft pick, the last player in the NFL draft in 83, number 38. This is Tuggle. Tuggle, a couple of yards over the right side. It'll be second down and 8. Woolfolk is on the bench trying to ice down the cramps he has in his legs, get a little oxygen back into the blood. That'll help. And meanwhile, Rob Carpenter is the one everyone is concerned about. They're looking at him. He is in obvious pain.
We are told that Sims has turf toe, but I don't know.
That's the end of the third period. 12-9. The Lions over the Giants. Will return for fourth quarter action. But right now, this word from our local stations.
Tonight on Eyewitness News, how something that happened at a parade could mean bad news for the Russian president, and a new idea for a night out, a place at
Chippendale Hunks tomorrow at 9.
The sideline, he's his own trainer. He is working that right knee. It's probably something that he is aware of. He is aware of the condition in which it's in. Meanwhile, he remains on the sideline, and so does Butch Woolfolk. And Scott Bruner brings the Giants up here for the first play of the fourth quarter, looking over a second down and 7. And handoff. It's to Morris, and the little one finds an opening to the 37-yard line, and he was just down so low, I don't think the Lion defensive players could even pick up on him. He just popped through there.
Oh, he's got some good quickness and acceleration, and maybe it's just somewhat of an optical illusion because he is a little smaller, but this is not a bad run. Good cut right there. Back on the inside.
Those thighs.
Yeah.
195 pounds packed into 5'7".
Good balance there to keep his pick up another 5 or 6, 7. First down.
Give this to the Giants. They look like the team that's fighting for a playoff berth. The other team doesn't even seem motivated.
And Tuggle, rookie from California, gets 3 yards. Coming into tonight, Joe Morris only had 15 yards. Hadn't worked that much as we look at the halftime stats.
Trailing 12-6 at halftime, the Giants, nonetheless, as you can see, have a slight edge in statistics. Turnovers even, time of possession favoring the Giants. And the Giants held the ball, controlled it throughout the third quarter.
There with setbacks now. Morris has only carried the ball 7 times into tonight. John Tuggle only 1 time. And they're both in there together. Second down and 7. Morris once again. And Morris. And there's a flag down. That either could be a hold or maybe a face mask as Morris's head was spun around.
Looked like a face mask. No.
Hold.
Giants holding.
Too bad. They had a little good drive going there.
Not done yet.
Well, it is. I mean, too bad they're going to get a penalty.
Bill Parcells looking on as the options are being discussed with the Lions. It would be a 3rd down and 4, but I certainly would think they would take the penalty.
Well, another graphic that shows why the Giants came into this game 2-6-1.
Holding number 59, offense, still 2nd down.
Now, there's a little mix-up in the numbers, I believe. As a matter of fact, that is. It's Rich Humphrey, the center, holding for New York. 2nd down, 16. Ball now at Detroit's 44-yard line. Lion got back, and here's Morris again. And Morris tries to cut back, slips, but gets up to the 40-yard line where it will be 3rd down and 13.
2nd and 16, they call that play.
Woolfolk is coming back in. Morris is going out.
Now they're playing it cautious.
Carpenter remains on the bench.
2-6-1. I don't play it cautiously, Doug.
Might be a double-edged sword to have a guy like Ali Sheik there, you know. They say, well, we just play for field goal because we got it past midfield.
The speed is in there at wide receiver, Eddie and Mike Miller for the Giants. And the shotgun. Turner and was able to avoid the sack. No, I think they're going to say that he was in the arms of Martin Moss, and that will take away any possibility of Ali Haji Sheik.
That's why I couldn't understand the 2nd down call.
Now they're saying no, that it was an incompletion. One official said that it was the sack, and we could see Ali Haji Sheik, but no, it'll be Dave Jennings.
What about that, Frank?
Well, he's already hit one tonight from 56, and that would be where he would be kicking from.
Well, they have a lot of confidence in Jennings. I assume get him inside the 10.
They had a look at Ken Jacobs. I think he's rather surprised.
The only answer is put us down there to call the play.
Now, there he just missed.
And Dave Jennings, that's rather uncharacteristic of Dave Jennings. He leads the league in getting it inside the 20. But he gets the touchback, and the Lions will have the ball at the 20-yard line. Game has turned into a tough, hard hitter. Not necessarily one of the most beautiful games you've witnessed, but nevertheless some real hitting going on out there as the Lions come up to the 20-yard line. 1st down and 10. They have a 3-point lead over the Giants with 12:47 remaining in the game. Hippo, a lot of time. Jones started to run before he caught it.
Well, pretty good coverage downfield. He obviously came off of Jones as a secondary receiver.
I'm looking at Billy Sims.
Bob Carpenter has iced up the inside of that leg. He looked as though he wanted to get back into the action. He tested it on his own. He's been around a few years. He's banged it up a few times, and he knows what it's about.
If I'm 2-6-1 and I've got Haji Sheik, I don't punch. That's all I know. Second down and 10.
Hippo changing things.
Holding.
Going to have a holding call. It's Jones this time. Again, he dropped it. It's incomplete, but the flag is down. Mark Haynes covering Jones out of the backfield, and there's your hold. And the Lions will be backed up 10. I'll remind you again, Saturday here on ABC, right after Sports Beat College football. Undefeated and fourth-ranked Georgia against third-ranked Auburn. And if Georgia can win, they go to the Sugar Bowl for the fourth time. And then we have Nebraska going against Kansas. College football at its very best right here on ABC. You'll see it Saturday.
Well, Vince Dooley is a great coach. He's proved how good he is, winning the way he's been winning without Herschel Walker. But he's got some test.
Holding, number 70, offense, still second down.
Keith Dorney, the right tackle, holding. Down remains the same. Only now, Eric Hipple will be looking over second down and 20. Out of the shotgun once again. Going underneath the coverage. Jeff Chadwick and the rookie from Grand Valley State out over the 20 to the 22-yard line, and Rich Woolfolk is being iced down. That, I am assuming, is a cramp as they continue to work on that leg, try to loosen it up. They were giving him oxygen, which of course helps the cramp as it gets into your blood system, and now they're icing the leg down. Third down and 8. Hipple again from the shotgun. Leonard Thompson, who represents the speed for the Lions, will switch far to the left. That's Mark Nichols in motion. Hipple has Jones. And Jones will have the first down. It was a good effort by Byron Hunt, who was man for man on Jones coming out of the backfield. And that was a losing proposition. So the Lions have a first down. They had a first down and 20. And they get their first down, and Hipple paid the price, as you guys usually do, Don.
Well, that's what can't hurt. He wasn't that time, but you're all kind of, you got your weight shifted forward on that front, the left leg, and guys can roll into it. That's where a lot of the knee injuries occur.
Is that where you got the 3 knee operations
That's
from?
exactly what happened. Rolled in on the knee.
That was Casey Merrill in there for the Giants. Hipple now back out of the tee, looking at a first and 10. Sims, and a flag is down. Sims moves up to the 35-yard line. He gets a lot of yardage when it looks like he isn't.
Well, at least we got him back in a play.
Again, that flag was dropped.
Motion.
We're going to have a procedure call against the Lions.
I think it was Leonard Thompson made a little quick move. Started right before. Ah, you're right, Eric. Give me a break, he said. Come on.
Here's the call. Our referee, Dick Jorgensen.
Illegal formation, 72 offense. Number 72 reported that he was eligible. Then number 39 outflanked him on the line of scrimmage. Still first down.
Well, I'll tell you, these complex formations today, you can get yourself in a lot of trouble.
Well, that's twice that one. We've heard that one tonight. So they haven't quite got that one worked out yet, have they?
That was Billy Sims. Fourth handled the ball here in the second half. And a 5-yard pickup was negated. Now it's being explained to Chris Dietrich what you've got to do. He's been lining up in an unbalanced line throughout the evening. And when he is the end man of the line, he has got to report that he's an eligible receiver.
Well, I think that's what the complaint is. The announcement was made that he reported in, and if he did, he may have a point. But no.
Eric looks better without his mustache.
They're still trying to figure it out. As Monty Clark wants the answers on the sideline. He's getting them, however. First down at 15. Hippo, Jones is wide open, and he misses it there at the 45-yard line of the Giants. 3 times now, Jones has not handled the ball. And he was in for a big gainer. He might not have got 6 out of it, but he would have got deep into Giant territory.
At the very least. And then again, he might have gotten 6.
Oh, was he open? He just circled out of the backfield. Not picked up at all. Obviously, Brian Kelly is supposed to be on him man for man, but he is 4 or 5 yards behind him.
He just dropped it.
Thompson comes in to give Jones a breather. He's in a setback for the Lions, number 38. 2nd and 15. Hippo, and Kelly got into this one as he knocks it away from the tight end, Ulysses Norris.
Well, that was an ill-advised throw. He threw that with Kelly all over the intended receiver. He was asking for trouble. Carpenter now going into the dressing room.
Leaving the trainer, Johnny Johnson.
This is not an advertisement for high-class football.
Hippo now 12 of 18, 122 yards, a couple of interceptions. We'll watch it from the end zone as Hippo will work from the shotgun. Blitz is on. Hippo, and we're going to have pass interference, I believe, against Terry Jackson, working against Jeff Chadwick. They collided at the Giant 46-yard line, and Jackson is saying no, but the flag is down.
What that was a good move by Chadwick to really force that penalty. He looked into the inside, got Jackson to commit, came back out on the outside, ran into him, and you can't hit him but one time downfield. That's at 5 yards.
And Jackson is not playing at 100%. He has that bad knee. Tried to come back last week against the Cowboys, got burned. He's a fine cornerback when he's healthy.
Well, if there's a bright spot for the Lions tonight, it's the rookie receiver Chadwick, Don.
He does look good.
46-yard line of the Giants, first down, Detroit. Triple again, this time to Billy Sims. Taken there by Lawrence Taylor after a gain of 3. 10 minutes and 19 seconds and is ticking away here in the 4th quarter. Lions have a huge percentage of victory against defeat here at the Pontiac Silverdome, but their show on the road has been far from spectacular. They're looking for an important win tonight. 2nd down and 6. Look out. And it was Terry Kennard going up to take it away from Leonard Thompson.
He wasn't open, and that one could have been picked off.
Kennard touched the ball 5 times against the Cowboys.
Intercepted it twice, got a fumble, intercepted one out of bounds, deflected a couple more. Number 1 draft pick for the Giants out of Clemson. 3rd down, 6. Lots of folks changing out there as the defensive specialist comes in. The Giants bring in Hunt. They bring in Larry Flowers. And Hippo will work from the shotgun. Hunt's on the blitz. Hippo out of the pocket. He has the first down. The crowd loves it. Oh, that's the extra dimension we talked about early in the game. He can run the football.
He did show a little quick scamper there that time, didn't he?
If you saw Byron Hunt at 6'5" at 230, you might scamper real quickly.
Well, Hipple has, I think, one of the 3rd longest run this year, which is another kind of interesting statistic. He's run for a 27 yards once before. Obviously, he was trying to throw the ball. Got a little pressure to the inside. Here comes Big Byron. SMU graduate, of course.
And Leonard Marshall tried to close it off, but Hippo picked up the first down marker and got it. Near the Giants' 31-yard line. Billy Sims. Over the 30, down to the 29-yard line. The gain of 3 yards. It'll be 2nd down and 7. Billy Sims, who broke his hand, actually as a decoy on a play several weeks ago. Was out 3 weeks. He's been back and healthy for the past 3 weeks. Had his best game of the season last week against the Bears with 91 yards.
Well, Billy's limping a little. His toe is hurting him, but that won't stop. He's a competitor.
2nd and 7. Billy Sims. Jones, rather. This time Jones does not drop the ball. Good move that he put on Brian Kelly. He gets the first down for Detroit. Jones, who had his problems, he had 3 drops, and this time he picks up a key first down. Big, hard-running youngster with a lot of raw talent out of Florida, the first-round draft pick for Detroit, and the 13th player taken in the draft. 19-yard line. Dexter Bussey is now in there for Detroit, along with Vince Thompson. They're the setback. Bussey. And Bussey to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. Stopping the clock with 8:50 seconds remaining in the game. And there's James Jones. Got a quick breather. Quick gulp of water. He'll be back in the lineup. So quite a career down there in Florida. He had over 2,000 yards in the 3 years that he started there. I mentioned earlier he caught almost 70 passes. Mark Nichols goes up to the top of your screen. Leonard Thompson split to the left. Jones back in the lineup. Harry Kimball, and he gets to the 15-yard line before he's dropped. It'll bring up 3rd down and 6.
Big play. A field goal won't do that much for them if the Giants could ever score a touchdown.
Well, he's tried that little rollout pass that time, which I think is maybe a move in the right direction. This is a 3rd and 6.
This is the play.
Yeah, you have a little move. Here comes 4 more guys in, 4 more guys out. Sometimes 4 in, 3 out.
How many they got on the field?
After counting nowadays, 12 play at this drive for Detroit. Hip ball, timing pattern intended for Jeff Chadwick, overthrown. Good coverage offered out there by Mark Haynes. So we'll see Ed Murray as Detroit will try to move out by 3 more points. They lead at the moment 12-9 with 8:07 remaining in the game.
The Giants have not been a big come from behind team, so maybe he's saying let's get a field goal. Of course he's saying he's not going to go for 6 here.
They have on occasion faked the field goal. It incensed the Chicago Bears earlier in the season. And actually that was an accident. But Hipple is the holder. He can run and he can pass. Murray splits the upright. Murray from 33 yards out, and the Lions lead the Giants 15-9. Eric Hipple, important factor in keeping that drive alive. As Detroit, nevertheless, has to settle for 3. Leon Bright has dropped for the Giants, and Ed Murray is setting it up. 8:04 remaining in the game. Detroit in their Central Division of the NFC, trying to stay close to Minnesota and tied with Green Bay. And they have games remaining. Have a game remaining with Minnesota. They have a game remaining with Green Bay. Murray puts it up high, short, and this is Bright from the 9-yard line. Flag is down as Bright is down at the 22-yard line. Maurice Harvey down there to make the stop on Leon Bright.
2 flags, I think, went down, but they may have been for the same penalty.
Against the Giants. And the Giants will be backed up. Dick Jorgensen and his crew working hard tonight. A lot of flags. Scott Brenner. Final instructions from Ron Earhart.
There we go, block in the back, number 44, receiving team, first down.
Pete Shaw, the Giants, detected with the illegal block, and the Giants will start from just over their own 10-yard line. We'll be back at Pontiac in just a moment. Back in Pontiac, the Giants at their own 10-yard line. Scott Bruner, who is 13 of 24 on the night, 117 yards, has that one interception just before the half that kept points off the board. On 1st and 10, Butch Woolfolk, right side, and Woolfolk gain of about 6 over the 15. It'll be 2nd down and 4. We'll remind you again what could be the most significant game we've had all year long. Number 4 ranked Georgia against 3rd ranked Auburn. Again, if Georgia can win this one, Vince Dooley will have done it again, a 4th consecutive Sugar Bowl bid. And, of course, for parts of the country, Nebraska and Kansas. Nebraska and Kansas, undefeated, 4th-ranked Georgia against 3rd-ranked Auburn this Saturday here on ABC. John Tuggle, the rookie from California, short of the 1st down as he moves out to the 20-yard line. It'll be 3rd down and less than a yard. Seconds ticking off the clock. We move towards 7 minutes.
As Don said, the Giants are hardly a catch-up team, but this time they've got to get the touchdown.
That's right. A lot of it goes to that quarterback. You know, a little trivia that there are 5 quarterbacks that have played for the Giants that wear Super Bowl rings from other teams. Maybe didn't win the Super Bowl, but played the Super Bowl. You know those people?
Craig Morton, it's right there as we look at a 3rd down and less than a yard.
Brad Hawkinson.
That's 2.
Tuggle tries to go over the top.
I don't think he got it.
Short. He was hit right at the 20. The Giants are saying yes. They might get a measurement depending upon the mark.
I do not think he got it.
And they're saying without even bringing the yard markers in that he is a foot short. And I guess when you only have one shoe on, and I think that's what Tuggle had, that wouldn't have been lost in the huddle.
I tell you, it's really shabby. Well, all right, we've got Morton and talking.
4th down, and the Giants call timeout. They have about a foot to go.
Right.
And it's an equipment timeout, actually, because Tuggle is the only other fullback the Giants had, and they had to put a shoe on him.
You talk about quick, man, that is quick. Ran right out of his shoe.
Left it right there. And, of course, that could have hurt considerably as he tried to go over the top. And it left the Giants with decision time. They trail by 6. The 3 tight ends are in for the Giants on 4th down and a yard to go. 6:23 remaining in the game, and the Giants trail by 6 points.
All right.
Tuggle and Woolfolk now back in the lineup.
That's your 2 6 and 1 call, and look at that.
Woolfolk breaks it over the right side for a 9-yard pickup.
Happens so many times, doesn't it? You see them all jammed in there, and you just break a little slide out. Sorry, we're
Some
close.
inventive signs tonight.
That's right.
Yeah, they've suffered here in Detroit. You think back to their 50-year history, the great teams of the early 50s. Detroit Lions, even though they went to the playoffs last year and got wiped out by Washington with a 4-5 mark, they've only had one winning team since 1972.
Same true of the Giants.
1st down. Brenner gets it in to Woolfolk, and he doesn't handle it. He was well covered. Gary Cobb was there defensively for Detroit. Along with Bobby Watkins.
Same true of the Giants. Each of these teams, which should tell you something about the quality of play tonight, has had one winning season since 1972.
Of course, the Giants in 81 lost to the 49ers in the playoffs, who ultimately became the Super Bowl champion. Two of the oldest franchises in the NFL. Giants and Detroit, and they've got it on for many years. Woolfolk right side, and just at the line of scrimmage, you might have got a yard out of it. Well, I suspect they're going to have to put it up in the air sooner or later.
This is it.
3rd down and 9. And here comes the personnel shift on the part of Detroit. They bring in Dan Wagner. They trot out Roosevelt Barnes. The 3 wide receivers for the Giants. We'll watch it from the end zone, out of the shotgun. picked off. Bruce McNorton, the man that everyone thought was the weak link in that secondary defense. He's filling in for the injured Al Latimer. He stepped right in front of the Giant receiver, and Detroit gets the football back with 4:48 remaining in the game, and they have a 6-point lead.
So Scott Brunner continues the pace, dogged by the same series of misfortune.
That when he threw so quickly, you had the feeling of looking at it from that particular angle, the other angle, the end zone angle. You say, well, maybe he had somebody open. But that was man-to-man coverage that he had out there. They were trying to double a couple of those guys, but the short guy was man-to-man, and he just played it very well. The ball was possibly ill-advised, and it was through.
First and 10 Detroit. They're at the 36-yard line for the Giants. Little quick handoff to Jones, and he just bowls over the right side. Gets 4 yards. It'll be second down and 6. Clock now beginning to become a factor.
Right. A few more yards, and Eddie Murray's in field goal range for him. And that would put it away.
Good shape.
Hey, there's the youngster who made that interception, Bruce McNorton.
He's
youngster out of Georgetown College. 4th-round pick a year ago. Injured most of last season. In the lineup tonight because of the injury to Al Latimer. And he has made the key play of the game thus far. Second and 6. Jones. And Brad Van Pelt took on a pair of blockers, and Jones will lose yardage back clear to the 37-yard line.
That was a costly play because now they're out of Murray's range.
Good play by Van Pelt.
The Giants use a timeout. They have 1 remaining. Third down and long for Detroit. They could use a little more distance for Ed Murray. We'll be back in a moment. A costly loss for the Detroit Lions. Brad Van Pelt making a fine play against James Jones. And we see personnel changing. The Giants waiting till the last second. So the offensive personnel was set for Detroit. They bring in their extra defensive specialist. And from the shotgun, it will be Eric Hipple looking over a 3rd and 11. Everyone got the count except the center.
Well, those things happen. A lot of times you can miss things like that. He says, not my job.
Start entire offensive line.
Well, I tell you,
Not the center.
Center.
Steve Mott, the center didn't false start.
No, sir.
Offensive line, still 3rd down.
And a little bit further. 3rd down, 16.
well,
Giants are on a drive.
unless they can come up with big yardage, Frank.
They got a punt. 3:58 remaining.
I thought that was funny. Giants are in the drive.
Yeah.
Look out.
Blitz. Terry Kennard misses. And Hipple fires a shot to Jeff Chadwick, ordinarily with the good hands. He drops it, incomplete, and there's a Hassel that breaks out at midfield. And the referee is down.
The referee is down.
And he appears to be hurt. I did not see the action. I was watching the receiver, but there was a hassle that broke out. It was Lawrence Taylor trying to move people away from the officials.
I couldn't see either, but
Flag is down.
see. Oh, Larry Lee just
That was Larry Lee, the right guard. Whether he was taking a shot at Taylor and got the official, I don't know. But the official is down. Dick Jorgensen, the referee, it is.
We're seeing more of that this year. The officials getting it.
That's the first time I've ever seen that one.
Oh, no. Seen it twice previously this
If
season.
it's determined that it was deliberate, you will see the last one from Larry Lee.
Well, from what I saw right there, I don't think it was deliberate. I think he was just one of those wild elbows that caught him right in the mouth, it looked like.
Got a bad lip. Referee Dick Jorgensen. I think he just said what happened. I don't think he knows. The veteran referee referee. I'm sure that's a first for Dick Jorgensen. No, I'm fine, I think he said. Again, the flag is down right at midfield. That was a third down at 16. It was incomplete. Jorgensen stepped into the action, and he caught a forearm from Larry Lee. Lawrence Taylor and Larry Lee were involved.
Sportsmanlike conduct, number 64, offense.
They're calling it unsportsmanlike conduct.
Well, you're right. The Giants are on a drive.
3 minutes, 52 seconds left.
You talk about futility. Look at those stats.
Again, the call unsportsmanlike conduct, and the number that was mentioned was Larry Lee. You saw the forearm that caught Dick Jorgensen, and Larry Lee is out of the football game. So apparently, as far as the officials are concerned, it was deliberate, and that could be all for Larry Lee for a long time. There he is, third-year man out of UCLA. And that brings up fourth down. Penalty also accompanies the loss of down. Leon Bright is back, and Mike Black is out to kick for Detroit. Black, end over end. Leon Bright flips it over, and hustling down there to kill the ball on contact with Roosevelt Barnes. It'll be marked at the 21-yard line for the Giants. They have 3:44 remaining in the game, but they're down to a single timeout. They'll have the 2-minute warning to work with and one timeout.
Why would Roosevelt do that?
I don't know. It's unbelievable.
They just never caught a ball.
I guess that's it. He says, I'm open, man.
Right on dead strike. Yeah. The worst that could have happened would be that it would have bounced a little further for Detroit.
It was incredible. I thought you reached an all-time low with the Cardinal-Giant game, but this one may have beaten it.
First down, Giants at their own 20-yard line. Picked off again. Yeah. And again, it is Bruce McNorton.
Well, it's a good move for the Giants now because Detroit's got the ball and they can move.
Scott Bruner.
Scott, I'm sorry, buddy, but hey, you got to hit the guys on your side.
And now McNorton is hurt. He was shaken up on the return of the interception.
I think the ball knocked the wind out of him and hit him right in the stomach. Take a look. He had plenty of time. Zip. Throws a nice foul.
Third interception of the night.
Frank, what time's your plane in the morning? He may not make it.
Oh, there he got it right there. They just bent him over. Couldn't really tell.
And Norton stays on the carpet. Mind you, coming up immediately following your local news. Interesting nightline tonight. Women in sports. Question, could they compete against the men? Olympic gold medalist Donna De Verona will talk about that and new directions for women in athletic competition. And that'll be tonight on Nightline after your late local news.
A big welcome to Donna. She's back with ABC.
Back with us.
Yeah, she's good. She's neat.
Great lady.
She really is.
Detroit gets the football back. They have it first down and 10. They're at the Giants' 32-yard line. 3:34 remaining. Detroit has turned it over twice tonight. The Giants have turned it over 5 times. On first and 10. Jones, middle of the line, working on the clock. Picks up 3 yards.
Yeah, he snaked that out.
He's feeling better now.
Yeah. 2 big interceptions for the youngster tonight. That'll make you get well quickly.
He says, I'm all right. Okay.
Giants have used their final timeout. They're stopping it. With 3:25 remaining. I think Eric Hipple is confused over that one.
I would be if I were Eric. I mean, I saw him use the second timeout in the overtime when it was 4th and 4. And I didn't figure that one out either. I mean, well, when things don't go well, they just don't go well.
It has been an unbelievably difficult year.
It's high comedy in this game, I got to tell you.
But you will agree, though, when they don't go well, they just don't go well. And speaking of that,
the disclaimer.
This telecast, yeah, it's presented by the authority of the National Football League. It's intended for the private use of our audience, and any rebroadcast or other use of this telecast without the express written consent of the National Football League is prohibited. They might be forgiving, though. I don't know. They might let you run this one again if you write up a real sweet letter. Yeah, I want to do this one more time.
About ready to get things underway. 3:25 remaining here in the fourth quarter. Not one of your great artistic showings tonight. And it degenerated to nothingness when we watched the referee go down, hit by a forearm from Larry Lee. At least as far as I'm concerned. Second down and 6 for Detroit. Billy Sims in the lineup now with Jones. They'll be working on the clock. And that's figured. Hippo recovers his own fumble. Detroit now third down and 5. Hippo with a gain of 1.
The Giants are not going to call timeout, though, because they don't have any more.
Ed Murray loosening up.
The job now is to get Murray out of field goal range. Detroit may succeed.
Well, he has a little muscle strain or pull or something, so
he'd be well within range without that muscle problem. He's had a 51-yarder earlier in the season. But they were concerned whether he would even be able to kick tonight as he pulled a muscle in the warm-up before the game. Third down and 5. Hippo can get the first down on his own, but he doesn't have to. He fires, and it's complete. Gets to the rookie out of Grand Valley State, Jeff Chadwick. And Detroit has a first down, and they can let the clock count down. I think they can get to the 2-minute warning. Yes, they can. They'll just let it run down. The Giants can't stop it.
Would be surprised. Who knows what's happening. There's so much offense in the game, but I think this type quarterback, the guy that can sprint out there, run out, you used to say, well, that's the old college style of passer. He has to roll out to throw.
Not anymore.
No, that's true. And that really is. You put him out there man-to-man, and defenses are not really designed to stop that quarterback as a runner.
Well, they're survivors, too. They're good athletes, these kind of quarterbacks. They'll be around when the going gets tough. So will we when we come back.
Don't know.
Back at the Silverdome in Pontiac, Michigan, and we have just received a report that a bomb has gone off in Senator Byrd's office in Washington. A report that we have that no one was there, so apparently no one injured. And, of course, we'll be updating that if we get further word. And, of course, you'll hear more about it on your local news and on Nightline coming up later.
Will it never end?
First down, goal to go, Detroit.
No.
Billy Sims, right side. Sims in the arms of Terry Kennard, who shows a lot of strength to keep Sims out of the end zone. And now Clippers are flaring once again. And cooler heads directed by Lawrence Taylor are prevailing.
That's just the utter frustration of I don't know what.
Well, the Giants, Terry Kennard in that case, Lawrence Taylor and Billy Sims, as I mentioned many hours ago, are very close friends, and Billy came over to spend time with him in our hotel today.
There is Don Greco, the guard who left the game earlier, and even though Billy Sims has a sore toe, he's done the ball so well when he's carried it the few times that he has tonight. 13 times all told. Billy likes to run it 25, 26, 28 times. And, of course, James Jones is providing additional work tonight. Sims again. Gets inside, but he is stripped up.
His own man.
D. Hardison helping. And it'll be third down and goal to go, and the Lions will be able to just run out the clock if they so wish.
Well, they're in field goal range.
So the Lions will move to within 1 of Minnesota in the NFC Central Division. They'll be tied with Green Bay at 5 apiece. Next week, they'll travel. They'll meet the Houston Oilers down in Houston. But as I mentioned earlier, they have meetings with Green Bay and Minnesota remaining on their schedule. Executive producer of ABC Sports is Brune Arledge. ABC's NFL Monday Night Football produced by Bob Goodrich, directed by Chet Forty. Our technical director, Joe Chavo. Associate director, Alan Brum. Technical manager, Coach Coltrane. Unit manager, Lenny Nathan. Telecommunications manager, Bob Myers. Assistant to the producer, Jay Cutlow and Tony Tortorici. And our booth manager, Irene Katz. Little Eileen, always on the job here. Third down, goal to go. Jones. Whoa. He runs back right into Lawrence Taylor. Took a vicious shot. And that should be the final play of the game.
Yep. Clock runs out.
Unless Detroit is thinking in terms of tiebreakers. A disappointment in many ways for young Bill Parcells in his first year as head coach of the Giants. For Monty Clark, the struggle continues as the Detroit Lions stay alive in the playoff hunt. A game behind Minnesota in the NFC Central Division. Monty Clark gets the victory. They have now won 4 of their last 5.